All right, everyone. Welcome to Market Masters. We are live on YouTube currently, so I had to pause the music. YouTube does not like it when you stream copyrighted audio to their platform, which Aerosmith is copyrighted as much as I wish that it wasn't. But nonetheless, Jack and Jeffrey will be on very shortly, and they will be getting things started here. Thanks, Phil. I try my best, man. I'm a classic rock connoisseur. My dad made me listen to it. Well, I'm not gonna say made me. I loved it. My favorite song ever, still to this day, is probably um, ROCK, the USA by John Cougar Mellencamp. That is a really good song. So AC/DC, Def Leppard. Man, I really like Rock of Ages by Def Leppard. That's one of my favorites. There's another one too. Yeah, I know. And it was funny. If anybody here remembers Stalks After Dark, um, they asked the question, who was the famous singer born in Ohio that made the song Little Pink Houses? And I was like, you got to ask me twice. I know that off the top of my head. So, oh yeah, okay. So, guys, what I want you to do, you don't have to do it right now, but this is the link right now to Market Masters. Um, and we're live on YouTube, so you can give us a like. Absolutely, yeah, DT. That's how a lot of my friends feel. It's like that's the music I grew up with, and I'm gonna make sure my daughter listens to classic rock too, because something about it. It's just stuff nowadays is all made on the computer. You know, guitars back in the day and singers. None of that was animatronic. That was all like real humans just playing instruments. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, and I play some guitar too. I got my guitar over here in the corner. But I'm also different. I like that modern stuff too. Hey, what's up, Jack?
What is going on?
Oh, not much, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. My tech stocks are taking a beating, but the income trading's going great.
That's what I was about to say. My tech stocks are down, but it seems like all my spreads are doing pretty good today.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Thank
can't
God,
really complain.
thank God for the options market. I mean, if it wasn't for that, I'd be having a really bad day. But you know,
Yeah,
you always got that ability to bring in income and selling cash secured puts or naked puts or covered calls. That's the lifesaver.
I 100% agree. You
Yeah,
get a day like this, and normally if you just have options, you get eight alive. But if you're doing spread trades and like you said, something like that,
fine.
yeah, you're just fine.
And it's also
So
a good time. I've been buying AVGO, VRT down, all the way down. I got a much longer term view. Hood, same thing.
yeah, what's Hood at these days?
Uh, let's take a look.
Working itself out up there. It used to be at 154. Now it's pulled back to 120.
Yeah, I was down 117. I was trying to pick up some 117 naked puts. All red. Google down below 300. The market wanted to look like it was going to be up about 0.3%, the SPY on the open. And that
Mm-hmm.
happens so much where everything looks a little bit green on the open, and then an hour or so into it, it's all back to red.
It's all back to red, and that's exactly what happened today.
Yeah, ANET back down, Broadcom getting smacked. They're
Mm-hmm.
knocking the chip out of that thing. Uh,
Even Tesla is getting
yeah,
smacked up today
I
a little
know.
bit.
Nvidia popped
Yeah.
under, it's right at 170.
There's a big gamma level on QQQ that down at 600, so I think it's a magnet. We're gonna pull it down. Got about
Oh,
I'm
3 points to go.
getting smacked on VRT. Yeah. I'm not going to roll those VRTs yet because I sold the 177.50s, if you can believe it. Uh, I would roll them, but it's down so much. I'd rather see it get up a little bit.
yeah. What's up, Jeffrey? How are you doing?
Well, it's another day in paradise.
Yeah.
Another day,
Another day
another
in
dollar.
paradise. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, yesterday I picked up so much premium on that NASDAQ trade I do. Jack, it's like I found $100 bill laying in the street.
With that beer money trade?
Yeah, I picked up like 8 contracts, made big money, like $500 or almost $600 yesterday.
Mm.
It was rich. I caught it right at the like 1:30 we were dropping, and I just happened to in the show with Blake here and jump over there. I was like, "Ooh, look at that! There's like $100 bill laying there." I just picked it up and rode it into the close. Two and a
Yeah,
half hours of risk, baby.
it's crazy how much these options can have a premium in them, even on Friday on expiration day. Couple hours left, they're just going to dry up. But man, do they hold their price to the very end?
Yeah. Well, I mean, those yesterday evaporated. It started bouncing at like by 2:40, or well, I guess by 2 o'clock, it had already started bouncing, and the premium just evaporated off of those because I was like 300 points, 400 points below the money. So, um, just crazy,
Hmm.
crazy.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I unfortunately missed my opening range breakout trade today, which would have worked really well on QQQ for some nice puts. I don't know
yeah,
what I was doing. I was sleeping, I guess. I was not paying attention.
I just flew out right before I came live here. I jumped out the Friday, which 2 days, bought a 604 put, sold a 600 put on QQQ, looking for that gamma level touch at 600. Cost me about a
Probably gonna get
dollar.
it.
Cost me about $1.50, and I'm looking to close it at 275. So not even going for like a double or triple or anything. Just little money.
Just a little cash, a little
Yeah,
beer money.
yeah. I mean, it's just small, consistent gains over and over. And Jack and I talk about that every day. Just small, little, consistent trades. You don't put. I didn't play this big. It's not like I put 10 or 20 contracts at this. Put like probably a half of a percentage of my account at risk, but you do that over and over and over, lots of little things. No little cut hurts if you lose it, and the winners stack up as long as you're playing high probability ones. Um,
Yeah.
What's the most on a percentage basis that you would allocate to any one trade?
Probably 20%.
Wow, that's pretty aggressive.
I'm I might be even more than that on Tesla right now. Quite honestly, I might be closer to 45% on Tesla right now.
Mm, dang.
I'm pushing hard, bro.
You are. Well, everybody's got another chance right now with this pullback in here.
We are likely going to 550. Now,
Yeah.
is that this week? Probably not. Is that next week? Probably not. Is it by January option expiration on the third Friday? Maybe, quite maybe. Um, yeah, I just see it a nice upside, and it could go to 600 too.
Yeah.
So
Do you have the chart up?
I don't. If Blake will let me share, here we go.
Yeah. We got a question about what trades do we have on Tesla. Most of them are on TSLL.
Yeah, we'll get in that in just 1 second. Before we talk actual what we got, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Jack and I are just a couple of dudes that get lucky a lot in the market. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Just because we get it right, we make some money, doesn't mean we'll keep getting it right and keep making money. All right. That's bottom line here. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation for you to be buying or selling anything that we talk about. Financial instruments, including stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Be careful out there. You can lose your money. And nobody's going to take a vested interest in your financial well-being more than you are. But if you want somebody to tell you what to do, you can hire and consult somebody. But
Don't do that.
it's
Figure it out on your own.
it's
Learn
it,
it. You can learn it. You don't need to hire a knucklehead that's going to charge you 2% to do nothing.
you're going to do way better if you just learn it yourself.
You are. and you'll
Shoot.
like it better, you know?
I feel like it's more than 2% these days. I think it's like what, 6, maybe 8% for like a stock trade. It's
Oh
like something
God.
crazy.
I looked at this thing. A family member has got some money to put in this thing, and uh, the way it's structured is just ridiculous. They even have a fee, the asset manager. If they buy and sell shares for you, they're going to charge you 2 cents just to do it anyway, on top of all the other fees. And it's all buried in this fine. They just sign it, you know. And man, I pointed that out to them, and I said, "You got to call these people." And sure enough, you call them and lean on them a little bit, and they'll waive all kind of fees. But don't do that unless you absolutely positively have to. Other than that, you can do it on your own. No matter how big or small your account is, you can do it. No matter how old or young you are, you can do it.
It's, yes, it's simple. I guess it's simple. It's not necessarily easy, but it is simple. And we're just buying and selling. It's just clicking a few buttons. Now, if you naively do it, especially if you tinker with options, there's like a 90% chance you're going to lose your money. It's just the reality of the market. It's very efficient at taking naive traders' money and putting it in Wall Street's pockets. That's why a little bit of effort, a little bit of education, you can way outperform the market. Way outperform. So
Yeah.
Jack and I try to help people learn this stuff, but if you got to make your own decisions. You got to own everything. It takes patience, it takes discipline, it takes personal accountability. If you're going to sit here and blame other people for your bad decisions, you're probably not cut out for this game. Probably not cut out for this game. So, anyway, if
Look at
you're,
that.
it's kind of funny. I've paid for all my educations. Some of those are very expensive educations I've paid for. And, schooling is one thing, but then I've paid for educations. The market has taught me lots of things with my real hard-earned money. And Jack and I sit here and tell people to paper trade until you have a feeling that you know what things are going to do. It's people told me that for a long time. I thought I'm really good at picking up skills. It's kind of my hobby. I pick up skills, learn new stuff all the time. That's just the type of person I am. I probably I'm an expert in, or some people say, jack of all trades, master of none. I'm like a master of a lot of trades, and I tinker all over the place. It's just kind of the personality I have, is to learn a whole lot about something and then move on and learn a whole lot about something else. And I thought there's no reason for me to paper trade, right? I'm really good at picking up skills. I can pick up trading. I can prove everybody wrong. I can do it faster. I've been taught that lesson over and over, and that's why, Jack, I was talking about, I paper trade stuff like 30 times before I go with live money. And you were like, that's kind of excessive, but I've been taught that by losing my hard-earned money, I've been taught this lesson that paper trading has more value than most people place on it. I know there's some other gurus that are like, oh, you don't need to paper trade, just learn while you earn, earn while you learn, and all this crap. And but there's a lot of lessons out here that you can't learn until you see it in the market. And that's a lot of times I'll paper trade a lot of things. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm missing it. Like this Tesla breakout, I'm never, I'm missing the part. I'm not gonna get a piece. That's exactly what the market does to us. High prices bring more people. Economics. Think about it. Supply and demand. Prices go high, demand drops off. People quit buying stuff. The stock market, though, prices go up, more people buy it. It's completely opposite to all the other financial things we do in the world. And people get FOMO, fear of missing out. They, get greedy. They get, start dreaming of all the things we're going to do when we retire. And it's a lot of bad, actually. If you can quell those and not really care what a stock does at all. It's like Jack and I are excited about Tesla, but we don't really care if it breaks out. In fact, it'd be better for us if it just keeps consolidating this area, just keeps
Yeah.
churning. Because we've been making tons of premium doing what we call the wheel trade on TSLL, which is a 2x leverage version of Tesla. This
And
thing has,
And it just goes to show how you can make 40% a year trading on a stock that does not even need to go up 2%. You could still make 40% on a stock that goes nowhere. That's what this thing is we're cash flowing stuff. We're not trying to find stocks that are going to go up like the rest of Wall Street. We're just cash flowing it.
Yeah. And so right here, this has the potential to pop up to this 25 area. I sold 23s against I sold these 23 strikes for this Friday across a bunch of my position. Yesterday, people were doubting me, saying that, oh, JT, you're going to lose all those shares today.
Calls, you're saying you're selling,
Yeah.
you're talking
Yeah, I'm
about
selling calls,
I think.
selling calls against my shares, committing to selling. I was selling puts all in here. On this dip, I got put a big chunk of shares. When you sell cash secured puts, you're taking an obligation to buy shares at a price. I did that. I've been doing that since back here in July, actually. I have amassed a collection of about 6,000 shares across many accounts, all sorts of cost bases. There's no one entry. There's no one time I got put shares. I've been selling, more recently, I've been selling 19s and 20s and 2050s and 2150s and 18s. And I got put some of those down here. Some of them I still have just in puts, naked puts, cash secured puts, sold out here in the future. Now, for the shares that I did get put, I've sold a large chunk of 23 strike calls for this Friday. I'd say probably upwards of 80% of my shares, of that 6,000 shares, probably have a 23 call sold for this Friday. Now, there's a chunk of them that have a 35 call sold out to January. Right there. And then there's a chunk of them that have no calls sold against them at all.
Those are the ones you're going to sell when it pops, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily have any particular plan. I'm just trying to cash flow, get the most bang for the buck, and can't always get the fill I want. Like I'm very particular about my fills. I don't just take what the market will give me. So I didn't get filled on all the 35 calls I was trying to sell, but just so I'm not blowing smoke. Here's seven contracts at 35 right there, January 16th, sold against this block of 700 shares right here that shows my cost basis at 27, but it's actually not 27. It's actually down at it's down at like 10 on this block of 700.
I sold the 23 calls against what I have, and I sold, what's today, Wednesday. On Monday, I sold the 17 strike puts naked, and not going to get those. And I sold the 23 calls against what I have. I don't think I'll get called out. And then today, the trade of all trades, I sold the 21 strike puts cash secured for Friday's expiration.
Now, see, I have 20s and 1950s right here for this Friday's expiration. That I started with these back in September. I think it was the week of September 20th, my wife's birthday week. I started selling these at these strikes, 19 to 20. And I've been rolling them ever since. I have not gotten put these shares. People are always concerned. But this block of 4 contracts right here has netted me almost $3,000.
It's crazy. I'm gonna find you how much premium I've made on this thing. It's embarrassing. Same thing though. If I throw out it just seems so great. You throw out a naked put at 19, you get the stock at 19, you put it for sale at 21, you sell it at 21. It's just been the biggest money maker, probably in the top 5 I've had this year without going anywhere. This thing hasn't really gone up for me at all, but it's just brought in a ton of cash.
So on average, I've made about $750 per contract, just keeping these rolling forward since that like 3rd week in September. So that's October, November, December, basically 3 months, $750 per contract. I haven't had to buy any shares. People are always worried when And this is dipped below. I've been in the money, and I'm still able to roll them and get more premium. And I just haven't let them get put to me. The market hasn't put them to me, and I haven't. I just keep rolling them out for more premium, and I may never get these shares. That's a heck of a return. I'm using, $3,000, basically using $2,000 per contract of margin times 4. That's about $8,000 worth of money that I've tied up in those 4 contracts right there for margin. I've made about $3,000 on that. That's 37%. Jack's talking about 40%. I've made almost 40% on that $8,000 in 3 months.
That's plenty good. I think our actual number was 38%. So, here you're just a 0.5% off. That counts.
And that's only in 3 months. If I had done that, we do that, there's actually 12 months in a year, so you could do that 4 times over. We're looking at 150% return, and I never buy shares of anything. I never actually own anything. I'm just selling premium.
That's
right
so
there.
crazy, isn't it? That's 150% without even owning a stock.
And
That's a case study right there in successful trading.
can you explain how you're doing it? It's really simple. You sell the put at a place where you think you want to own those shares.
Sell to open is your trade. Sell to open.
Yeah, sell to open. It's right here. I mean, real simple. If you were going to do it today, Jack just did the 21. He's trying to get put the shares,
Bam.
but you can collect $39 for
Which means to the guy that's asking a question, if I do get the stock put to me at 21, it's going to be 21 minus 39 cents, right? Where I got for premium. So your cost basis is immediately down when you get assigned.
So there you go. Like, you sell this right now. And actually it just moved. Change the price. You're selling for 42, you pay a little commission. They're going to reserve out of my account right here $2,059 per contract. This is just for 2 days right here. We're looking at 42 or $40 and 40.89. Use the actual money I would get right here after commissions and costs. Use the actual money that they're going to reserve on my account, which is $2,059.11. Right there. That's 1.9% return on your money in 2 days. What happens if you get put the shares? You still get 1.9% return on your money. All right. You may be in some shares and have that money tied up, but you already collected 1.9% return in 2 days.
Right. With doing nothing. And then if you do get the shares, you have another trade. That's the whole point is if you get assigned, you're going to make another trade. But straight up, he's making that without owning anything.
So
Just
right
using
now,
his cash to generate the return.
yeah, just in cash. And this annualized is 300%, 362% return by going after that at 42. Now it's, 45. So price is coming down a little bit. Could you go down and be, safer? Sure. Yeah, I'm down here.
Depends on if you want it. I would love to own it at 21. You can pick whatever strike you want, but that just, for me, that's right where I want it.
Now, for me and this position right here, if I was going to buy that back and try to go out here in the future, buy that back, roll out a week, and collect more premium. Right now, I can get 37 cents more.
Look at that. That's just, I laugh because folks, that is really high. That's a very high amount of money to get paid for taking this trade. And all you're doing is getting paid to make a promise. You're saying, I promise to buy the shares at whatever price you pick. And then the market's telling you, well, we'll pay you this much for making that promise. That's a great business proposition. Look at that. That 21 and a half put, get $1.07 or maybe something in the middle. Dang.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm sitting here trying to roll this
Wow.
forward here too. Like if it continues to dip, I'm gonna get like 30, almost 40 cents a contract here to roll that forward a week. And, that's
Hmm.
I've been doing this since September, every week right here. This
Yep.
kind of opportunity exists in the market. Should you have FOMO that you missed out on the $3,000 I've collected on these 4 contracts? No. Like I did it. We've been here talking about it. Jack, we've been talking about this since, back in September when I started doing it at these strikes
It's
every
always
week.
going to be here. It's always going to be here for you. That's why Jeffrey was talking about have the patience to learn how to day trade because you're not missing anything if you quit day trading early. The market is always going to be there. The only difference is if you take your time to day trade and you understand what you're doing, you're going to have a lot more confidence and a lot more success than if you just go in there and start banging around.
Yeah. I
It
mean,
ain't going nowhere. This market is always going to be here. So get it down pat and then go live.
and that's the paper trading is important. Paper trading to learn how this all works, very important. And you can sit here and paper trade these type wheel trades, learn how it works, learn how it flows. Where do I paper trade? You can do that at E-Trade. You can do it at Schwab with Thinkorswim. You can do it at TradingView. They now have a paper trade account. There's a variety of other brokers that allow paper trading. Um, you know, just look it up. Where can I paper trade? That's pretty easy. And then don't necessarily get trapped in it. Like if you dislike the Thinkorswim platform, don't trade there. You can trade at Robinhood. You can trade at Webull. You can trade at E-Trade. You can trade anywhere you want. It's kind of like flavors of ice cream. There's tons of brokers. There's new ones all the time. There's no best. All
No,
right. I use Tasty Trade. I place probably the most trades at Tasty Trade. The most, usually small 1, 2, 3 contract trades I, across different strategies and all sorts of stuff. I'd probably place the most small trades at Tasty Trade. I probably push the most contracts at Robinhood because I high frequency move a lot of contracts for my 50K challenge. I probably push the most money at E-Trade. And then I have an account with Thinkorswim. I have an account with Interactive Brokers. I have an account with Alpaca. I have an account with Forex.com and Crypto.com and Coinbase and, on and on and on. I probably have 20, maybe 30 accounts at different places. Where do I trade most? I just told you. I trade the most volume, the most number of small trades at Tasty Trade. It's just kind of a trader's platform.
it's perfect.
And
Yep.
and I like it,
It's good.
handy dandy. It shows you all sorts of information here. Like you can graph out the option, not just the underlying. And I have my positions here, and it's just I have lots of little positions. This has made almost 3 grand for me, just rolling with these 3 contracts here. Not even counting the shares up here with these higher cost bases. I originally got put on these on the big drop in January, but I was already rolling with puts coming into it. So I got put these chunks on the drop there, January, February, March, and I've been selling contracts. And like I said, the cost on these 700 is more like 10, not 27, even though it shows 27. And that's back to the accounting and why Jack and I use the PowerX Optimizer software to kind of keep track of these.
Yeah, and that Power X, Phil asks, how do you keep track of all those? Similar to what Jeffrey has. I have accounts all over the place. JP Morgan, I got a new one at Robinhood, which I love, Schwab, Fidelity for the HSA. But
How do you keep
everything is
track of them?
tracked all in one place. I don't keep track of it on their platform. I keep track of it in a centralized platform, which is this.
Yeah, it's like, how do you keep track of these? Here's how I keep track of these. I have a I have a piece of software that I bought that keeps track of my buys and
You
my sells
you
and
got to
my
type them in yourself right now.
yeah.
I don't think he has it set up to where this logs our trades from our accounts. So once I do a trade, I still use a lot of good old fashioned pen and paper. You can't even see that. That's a yellow pad. Wow, look at that. Oh, there it goes. Looks like I'm waving invisibility. Anyway, I'm using a legal pad. I write everything down on that, and then I go back and I make sure I logged it into the PXO platform so it keeps track of everything. But yeah, good old fashioned legal pad and pen.
I just keep them all in here. If this software went down, I'd probably be hurt a little
Oh
bit.
God, I'd be in bad shape. So do you do a trade and then you type it in there right after you do the trade?
Yeah,
Or do you
usually I just I have a different screen that's much bigger, and I pull up the trading platform and I just put them right in here so I don't forget to do them because
right after you do it, you go from one screen to the other screen?
I'm like the world's worst accountant. So
Me too, man. That's why I write them down and make sure I put them in. 'Cause Mrs. Jack goes through this stuff and ooh,
yeah,
it's bad at the end of the year.
I mean, you can see right here, I've got $19,000 in premium collected on open trades. I've actually booked 18,000 of that. So I've really only got about, what, $1,300 in open premium sold. I'm sitting on 6,800 shares of various stuff. I've got 57 open contracts, and these are pretty much all like this week's contracts. So I'm rolling up to 100 contracts a week on this stuff. Really, I should have 6,800, 68 contracts going, but I only got 57 right now. And using about $216,000 of buying power. That's the margin that we talk about right there. A lot of that's tied up in the shares. Some of it's tied up in just open contracts. And I've got all sorts of stuff. I have some IBIT. I have some HIMS. I have some Circle, some TSLL. I got several TSLLs in here. Dollar Tree's about to get called out this week.
I was going to say, and the denim wars are heating up, right?
Yeah.
Gap and everything else you got cooking.
Yeah, I don't know that I have Gap logged in here. I think Gap is in one of my accounts that I don't track on here. And I'm if that one calls out, man, I'm gonna be up like that one will be almost as good as the Dollar Tree trade.
I got to show you something real quick if you don't mind.
Yeah, this one's let me stop sharing and you can share.
Can you see this?
Yeah. Yeah, look at your buying power. You can roll in that 50K challenge right there, baby.
I'm in it. I'm in it. See, look at the premium I'm trying to show you, 36 pounds.
Yeah, baby. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. I'm doing the exact same thing. I had to change my background to white because it was giving me a headache when I look at everything on the black background.
Yeah.
But this is just, I'm a guinea pig for what he's doing. This does not include any of the buy and hold tech portfolio I have. That's all on another platform. This is just options trading. And yeah, makes it so easy. I just love this thing.
Yeah, look at that. Jack's got 455 contracts.
Is that a lot?
It's a lot for me. I can't wait to get to that because then I know I'm getting close to my 50K challenge, baby.
I know. I'm telling you, I love it. I love a day like Monday, when you've rolled everything or you're waiting, you got stuff that expired on Friday and you set yourself Monday, bring in 8, 9,000 in premium. That's awesome. In
I can't
addition
wait.
to the other
Can't wait
stuff.
till those days. I'm like ready for it, Jack.
Yeah. Yeah. You're there, man. You're getting there. You'll be there. There's no question in my mind. But I'm just showing you and everybody I'm doing basically what you're doing. I do it a little differently. We use a lot of the same stocks, but not all of them. And like you called it, choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it with the gap. I'm doing it, with different stocks, but we're doing the same. The principles and concepts of what we're doing are the same. And you can tweak it to how you want to tweak it and still make everything you want. That's just extra income. That has nothing to do with me fishing, boating, motorcycle riding, all that other playing around that I do.
And
It's just nice stuff on the side.
everybody says,
Yeah, I use my agent all the time, Jeff. Yeah.
everybody
Couple
talks
questions. Yeah,
about
Robinhood is good for IRS.
I was gonna say everybody talks about trading being a race or not a race, it's a marathon. But when you think about it, a marathon is still a race. Like somebody wins a marathon. I look at trading as a way of life of using my money to in a way that makes more of it so that I can do the things I want to do. And historically, everybody's like, if you're so good at this, why don't you just, go do it? Historically, all my money that I've earned in trading is all locked up in IRAs. I had very little money in taxable accounts. And starting this year, I decided I was going to build a taxable account that actually generated enough money that I could live off of. And that's when Jack and I are talking about the 50K challenge. That's what I'm talking about right here. And I actually show it all in public. Like every trade I do is in public right here
Now,
on
what
KInfo.
one thing I think is important with this is that when you have this $50,000 challenge account, let's say it's 1,600,000, and you're using that, you're not trying to grow that account, right? You're just going to take at the first of the month, you're going to take whatever 50 grand or 60 grand or 40 grand, first of the month, you wire that over to your checking account and you keep that 1,600,000 in there. You're really not trying to grow that. You're just trying to cash flow that. So that account doesn't have to grow. You don't have to pick
Right.
stocks. You don't have to worry about it. You're just using the cash in that account to generate the 50. Then you wire that 50 over to your checking account. That's how I got it set up.
And that's how I'm trying to do this. Like I'm trying to build now at the point I am, this number is not 50, right? It's only 7. 7 is much smaller than 50.
So you're growing it for now, but at some point you'll stop
So
growing it and cash flow it.
yeah, right now I'm trying to grow it to get to this magic 50K number. And I want that 50K, not just 1 month, but over and over and over and over, repeatable. I need this 50K repeatable. So where did I start? Everybody's like, what's your starting stake? My starting stake was a $5,000 investment. And then the next time I got $3,000, I put it in there. The next time I got $20,000, I put it in there. When I borrowed almost $60,000, I put it in there. Yes, I'm trading on borrowed money because I can earn a higher rate of return than what I'm paying on the principal for the
That's
borrowed money.
that's the good business right there. The spread between what you're getting and what you're owing. And then at some point you can pay back all that loan. You won't have to worry about any of it.
Yeah, and right now I'm siphoning back out to pay the loan. I got a loan payment I got to do every month. So I'm siphoning back out a little bit. So it's like, what's the principle? It's much more complicated than anything like that because I actually am trying to build this account any way I possibly can. I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I didn't have giant chunks of money. Everybody thinks this guru game is lucrative. Well, it is sometimes, but sometimes it's a absolute beast and it's hard to stay in the game. I'm trying to build a base that allows me to survive no matter what life throws at me. Right now, that's $7,000 a month. And I've actually made, look at the year, $41,000 this year. You look at the performance here, and this is how it's been growing.
Awesome.
Everyone wants to know what that was. That was Rocket Lab. That was one lucky trade. I got put shares. It actually wasn't just one little fluke. I sold puts on that for like a month, got put shares, and it popped for like 3 weeks. And then I sold calls and got called out. Booked the profit. I'm about to do that. There's going to be another pop over here probably this week on Dollar Tree. Now I got put Dollar Tree all the way back over here. So I've been accumulating this profit in Dollar Tree, and it's going to show up this week when I get called out on Friday, 2 more days. Probably another $6,000 pop right there. This one was about a $12,000 pop, so it'd be about half that size. But I've been cash flowing it. And that just, that's all part of the game here. So
And the
I'm
only
sure
way
there's
to ruin it is to stop doing it.
yeah,
That's simple.
the only way you F this up is, I could show a bad one. Gap is another one I've been hitting over and over and over and over since back here in July. When I started doing it, Jack thought I was a little bit crazy going after something that wasn't big tech, that wasn't moving. And I've turned it into pretty darn good money. But one that hasn't worked out so well for me. And let me stop this little drawing tool here. One that hasn't gone my way. Chipotle. This is one I didn't get it right. I rolled in here. I thought this was the bottom. That looked a lot like my signature pattern. The proportions fit, kind of triple bottom here. We moved up, retracing a little bit into earnings. I thought that's a great opportunity to sell some puts right there at 49. We're going to bounce and go. Maybe I get lucky and it grabs me at 49 and we take off and go to new highs again. But guess what? That's not the way it went. The last earnings right here, I rolled in, sold some 31 strikes. You're like, oh man, you're already in at 49 and you're willing to throw in more at 31. And I did, and I got put those shares. I brought my cost basis down to 43. Well, that's a lot closer. Now I've been able to sell some premium at 43 and cash flow the whole chunk of shares. And this thing's coming back up. Now it's at 37. And 37 is not that far away from 43.
Oh, yeah. It's all starting to work.
All of a sudden, this is starting to work, even though it's been pretty bad since back here when I got put in July.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about this strategy, too. You can be down, but not out. You can still cash flow it. So you're going to have a P&L different on the position, but you can still cash flow it. So like Francis asked this question, same thing. Let's take a look at SMR.
Yeah.
She's got a similar situation. She did a cash secured put on SMR, and she took the shares at 42, and now it's at 16. So do you wait for the stock to come up to the 42 price to start selling covered calls, or do you start selling them here? I would start selling them right here. Anything above this price, but you would have to buy that call back. Let's say you sold a 18 call and you bring in the premium on selling an 18 call. You would have to buy that call back before you got called out at 18 if your cost basis is 42. That's the only risk you have, is that you don't want to get called out at a price that's below your cost, but you also don't want to stop cash flowing it. So if it's for a $42 call, that's too far out of the money. But you can get some money for something 5 or 10% higher. You just got to make sure you won't get called out at that. And you keep doing it until you get your cost basis down and or the stock gets back up, and you just don't stop doing it. So if you got the stock put to you at 42 and it's at 16, the worst thing to do is stop. You can work your way out of it. There's even a repair thing in here, isn't there, Jeffrey, for this very situation? So you're never out, Francis. You're down, but you're not out. You cash flow this sucker.
So if you were at 42, let's say you had like 300 shares. I don't know what you actually have. And even if you didn't collect any premium in the beginning, but maybe you collected like $1. So let's just, let's put in that you realized $100 in premium on your 300, right? That's about 30 cents, 33 cents a share that you might have collected. So your break even is like 41.67. Now, all of a sudden we're down here hanging out at 16. So if you could throw more money at it, if you wanted to, I would only do like 30%. You could, if you had 300 shares, if you just have 100 shares, then this, you could easily double it by just doing one more put. But you could come in here and actually sell a 14 strike for next Friday, December 26th, right after Christmas. So you could run in here and the price that you would be looking at was 14. With potentially, I would just do a third of my position each time. Right? Just a third. Your new break even drops all the way down to 34.75. Now that's not down here at 20. Now, if you wanted to be a little more aggressive, you try 200. Now it brings your cost basis down to 30. 300. Now you're down in the 20s. You can see there you were in at 42. just by grabbing 300 more shares, you pull your cost basis down to that 27.83. And that's not even considering any premium you would take in at 14 that would bring your cost even lower.
Or in the meantime, selling calls against what you do have, in addition to selling more cash secured puts, you
And
double dip it.
and you can sell the premium that was available to sell was up here at 19 for this week.
That's pretty sweet. So you can do another cash secured put, Francis, bring your cost basis down, cut your average price down, and in the meantime, still do
You can be
covered
up here.
calls on what you got.
You can be up here at 19 on SMR. You can sell the 14s if you can afford to take on more shares, or if you want to. If you're like, oh, I don't like the position I'm in. I don't want to own more of this. Don't put any more money into it. Period. End of story.
But
If
you
you're
can
willing,
still sell calls against it.
you can
The
still
red
sell
hat
calls.
treatment on it, right?
If you're willing to put a little more money into it and try to help fix it faster, which is what I did on Chipotle. And I actually can pull this up here in a second and show you exactly what I did on Chipotle. But right there, I mean, you can be in there, you can collect 19 cents per contract. So you would actually be at 13.81. 13.81 would be your cost on adding those shares. So actually, if it still has all my numbers there, instead of being 14, it'd be 13.81. And that would take into consideration the premium you collected. So your break even actually 27.74. And yeah, I'm just speculating numbers. I don't know your real numbers. I don't know what you collected. I'm just throwing in
the concept. Yeah. And you got to understand, though, too, Francis, that you're down, but you're not out, and you're never out. And Jeffrey's a testament to that with this red hat story. Stock that didn't work. He sold covered calls against it for 47 years. And finally,
it was 18 years.
and finally made a huge profit. 18 years of selling calls. Can you believe that? There's a guy right there that's got perseverance. Ain't no way you're going to be denied your $50,000 challenge. There's no way, dude.
So this, everybody that, if you're new here and haven't heard this story, when I first started trading, I put $500, $500 or $600 into a retirement account. And on the back of the .com bust, I bought a company called Red Hat Linux. I paid $5.50 a share, bought 100 shares. The first several years, I just sat on it. I didn't know how to sell covered calls. I didn't, know any of that stuff. I didn't even get involved. I didn't even get started selling puts because I didn't know about that at the time. And but then I did learn about selling calls, cash flowing, and I started cash flowing that stock. And for 18 years, I cash flowed that stock. Never let myself get called out. I would occasionally buy them back and sell a higher strike call. Sometimes, at the time, quarterlies were kind of how you had to play. They didn't even have monthlies. I could just do it like 4 times a year. But I'd always roll out there. Sometimes I'd go out a whole year at a time and sell the calls to get enough premium to make what I thought was worth it. And after doing that for 18 years, holding on to that stock, IBM bought the stock for $190 a share. So that would be $19,000 that they paid me. They did, in fact, pay me $19,000 for my 100 shares. Now, when I looked at the balance on that account, it was $26,000. I had never made another contribution to this particular IRA.
So where'd all that other money come from?
All that other money came from selling those calls for 18 years. Think about that. Think about that.
The only other guy I know that did that is Chuck Crow, and he is a determined dude, and he did that on Apple. And the reason he did it was not because of this, but he wanted to see if he could get his cost basis down to zero on Apple by selling covered calls against it and lowering the cost basis every time he did it. And he did. He now owns the stock for free. And he's still cash flowing it. But I just think that's an amazing story. Now we call your story with the red hat experience. We call that, if you got a stock that you're down in, like Francis, we put the red hat treatment on it. And that's what you do. Just don't stop doing it. It probably won't take you 18 years, but don't stop doing it.
So can you fix just about anything? Yeah. If you got time
Yes.
and it doesn't go out of business.
Yes,
If
and
it,
it still has options on it. Yeah, yeah, you're good to go.
unless it just dies, doesn't have options, doesn't have liquidity, then you're in a pickle. But Red Hat didn't even have liquidity, really. That was back in the early days. I didn't pick it because of the options. I picked it because I believed in the technology. And for a lot of years, we just kind of ground in the 30s and 40s and 50s. And then lo and behold, Red Hat was like, or IBM was like, woo, I want to pay $190 a share for this. And, but I had made $7,000 of premium on my original $5,500 investment.
Isn't that cool?
About a $5 stock. Think about this. My dad's account, I bought 1,000 shares for 350. He got called out along the way. I wasn't as careful in his account, and he actually got called out back in the 70s. So he didn't make nearly the money I made. It
Of
was
course,
like
you don't tell them that though, right?
78 or 80. Of course, I did make him. He became a millionaire during COVID for me trading his account with a large chunk of that money was deployed to make that money. So he's not complaining too much.
Good.
And but all this stuff you can do. I did it back when I knew nothing, and now I know a ton more, and I do way better and much more aggressive. And yeah, it's just part of the whole thing here. Like you can do this, you can learn it. It's not incredibly difficult. Like I said, trading is kind of simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. And
I
that's going to bring
actually
us.
think that when I switched, I was a directional trader for years, and I actually think that this is easier.
Yeah. See, I already have my
That
second
might sound
plan.
crazy, but I think when you
I was going to say I already have my second plan in place for Chipotle right here. I haven't implemented it yet, but if we get down in the 20s, I already have my plan sitting here. I'm going to do 2 more contracts and pull my cost basis
that's
down
called
to.
the rescue mission. You see that rescue mission? That's isn't that cool? They have this little program. If you are underwater, this helps you get your head above water, called the rescue mission.
Then
I
I have my
love.
third plan down here at 16. So I've already got my levels planned out. 34, 23, 16. I already planned all this out when when Chipotle was being stupid to kind of get my head around what I was going to do. And now I've got the plan. Like everybody's like, where's your written plan? It's in this software. Like I said, if I lost this software, I'd be kind of in
Oh
a world
God,
of hurt right now.
be terrible. I don't know that I could rebuild it. I put it so much data in it.
But here, I got put in July. Selling and put. I immediately got put 400 shares. Turned around. Couldn't do much till September 4th. Sold a call. Collected some money. Sold a put, 34. Got put 200 more shares. Yeah, I actually got put in this account at 34. The other account up here had 31s. So I've actually got more than just the one position. 600 shares now. Had 400, added 200 more. And then sold a call, 13, bought it back for a penny. Sold 6 more, 15, bought it back for 12. That was actually under my cost basis. I realized I messed up. I was like, wait, if I get, as price started coming back up into the 35, 36 area, I actually bought this back earlier this week or last week, the 12th. I realized that if price keeps running, it's going to go above 43. I was like, oh crap, 43 is under my break even. I'm going to guarantee a loss. So I went ahead and booked that what was only 3 cents profit. Jack says you got to watch them if you're going to sell them below your cost basis. This is an example of that. I was watching it and decided to go ahead and close it for a minimal profit because I was under the break even. I was like, oh
Yeah.
crap. I thought I sold a 44. But when I was going back through my accounting, double checking everything, I was like, oh, sugar honey iced tea. I actually sold that below my cost. I need to buy it back at a profit.
And that's not the end of the world having to buy back a call at a profit or a loss. You guys saw me do it. Took a big loss on AVGO because I didn't want to get called out at that price. So this is it's okay to buy back the call for whatever reason. You want to protect your cost, or you want to not get called out at a price below your cost.
I didn't
It's
want to
all
lock in a loss is my big
right,
thing.
right.
I'm going at this to try to make a profit. And Right now, this is way underperforming. Like you look at it, my premium I've booked is only 326 bucks on 26,000 bucks. This is being this is underperforming my benchmark of 40%. That wasn't the goal when I came into this at all.
But that's not the end of the world because you have others that are way over 40%. So you're just going to blend all this in and it'll be right at around that 40% because you got a lot of them that are higher.
Yeah, like this one right here. Now, this Robinhood wheel on TSLL. I started out selling two contracts at 1950, selling two contracts at 20, selling two contracts at 2050. Rolled those forward, then got put. One big chunk. Now I've got six running. My cost basis 2050, one the average between the three strikes. My break even right now is 1814 because of the premium I've collected.
You got to write a book on this. This would be one of the greatest books if you write a case story, a book about how you started this and why you got this challenge in your head and why you picked 50 and how you started and how it's gone. This would be a great book. It would be inspirational for anybody that thinks they can't do it. And it'll be inspirational for anybody that is doing it but not getting the results they want. It'll be super inspirational for people because you're going to open their eyes to an entirely new way to trade, which has nothing to do with picking stocks and everything to do with using them as an asset to create cash flow. You got to write this book, man.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe AI can help me write it.
No,
Um,
no. It's got to be in Dr. Professor Turnmeyer's own words.
yeah, the AI has a eloquent way
No,
of taking my
no,
garbage and
no,
making it better.
no, 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 no. Words, your own words.
But we got right here. I mean, I'm not joking. Like I have December 19th, 2 days, 23 strike,
Yeah,
six call.
we're gonna pre-sell this book, Pete Olson. You can pre-order at turnmeyertradingbook.com. It's only $39.95, and he'll autograph one for you, and maybe he'll have a seminar for all the book buyers. Yeah,
Ah, I
you
could tell the
should
whole
write this
story. I
book, man.
could be the
You
whole
would.
story, man. How I got to doing this.
Yeah, it would be awesome, dude. Like I say, the reason I say this, folks, is I don't really know I don't know anybody that doesn't have a Wall Street background that can do this. I don't know anybody. Everybody I know a ton of people, but they all have some history of being in a Wall Street brokerage firm, some capacity. Almost every guy here at our firm does, except for Jeffrey. And I love that to see an outsider succeed because he's just proving the point that we all know is that everybody has the talent and ability to do this. You don't need to be a professor like him. You don't need to be a doctor. You don't need to have 17 degrees like he has. You could just have perseverance and determination and do it.
And one of the reasons I started doing this is because with all the effort that I put into figuring out how to do this myself, I just wanted to cut that bullshit out for everybody. Like, I mean, there are so many, like, I can't tell you how many snake oil salesmen,
Mm-hmm.
complete liars,
Mm-hmm.
and, sharks, and just want to take your money and make it my money type people that I bought stuff from over the years that just weren't actually interested in teaching me anything, really. And I sit here and do so much of this for free every day. Like I pump out YouTube for free. I come on here and hang out with Jack basically for free content.
Passion. You're passionate about it. You want to spread the message, and that's a good reason to get up, and that's a good driving force to have the passion to do it yourself and the passion to share it with others.
So, everybody's like, if you can do it, why don't you do it? I'm doing it right here. I'm doing it right here. I'm showing
Though
it to you.
the reason that people say this is because, and this is a sad and damaging admission, I'll just be one of the first to admit it, that there's a lot of guys in the industry that Jeffrey and I are in where we're trying to teach people. There's a lot of guys that don't trade. They don't. They just don't trade. And it's you gotta be careful with that. You gotta have a guy that puts his own money on the line because that's going to be your best mentor.
And I'm sitting here showing you every single twist and turn,
Good, bad, and the ugly. He's showing you.
all verified. You know, there are some drawdowns. There are some losses. It doesn't look like there are, but there's the losses right there. They don't show up very big because they're not very big. They're controlled. Remember that small risk, consistent gains. So when you look at this, the dips are in there. There's one right here, right there. Doesn't look very big, but there's a dip. And there's another one right there. There's another one
Well,
over here.
that's beautiful, as you want those dips little.
So
You
the
know,
dips are so small, they don't even show up.
it's more like a blip than a dip.
And a lot of people, when they show me their profit and loss, it looks like this.
They're way down and then up. Yeah. Yeah. Way bigger than that. Yeah.
Something like that. If you bring up your profit and loss and it looks like that,
You
you're
don't have a
putting
system.
you don't have a system, you're putting too much risk in every trade because the losses are killing you. You're trying to hit home runs every time. And then the ones that don't work eat you alive.
As opposed to the chip shots he's taken. You see? Layups versus 3-pointers.
As opposed to coming in here and getting $20 and $20 and $20 and $20 and $20 and oh, I caught a big one, 12,000, $20, $20 and $20 and $20. People say the $20 doesn't add up, but I beg to differ.
It sure does. Sure does. Especially when you stick with the system.
So,
And the wheel's an easy system to stick with. It's kind of fun. Every day you can make money, or every week, or 2 days a week, rolling out your trades. Um, you can get started with any amount of money, Robert.
you can get
Start
started
where
with
you are,
I I hope kids get started with like $20.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, can you do the wheel with $20? Probably not. You're gonna have to buy something like JEPQ that pays you a nice dividend and build up your reserve until you have about, roughly it's gonna take somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,000 to $3,000
Yeah.
to
I was
actually
gonna
get
say,
started doing some wheel trades.
I was going to say 2,500.
Yeah, right. 2,500 is a probably good spot. You could possibly get started. I have an account right now that I'm using about $1,100 and doing wheel trades, just so I can show kids like you can do it with $1,100. And then I have accounts that are big, like this one that has tons of money. Or I've built it up to tons of money. I borrowed quite a bit of it. I'm not lying about that. Like I'm trying to be straight up and honest. I borrowed money to be able to do this. I'm making a higher return than the interest I'm paying on that money. And I'm using some of the money to pay the interest every month.
Nothing wrong with that. All businesses have debt. All of them have borrowed money. If you can, the key is you can't borrow the money if you can't make a spread between what you owe and what you're making. But if you can, you definitely should leverage.
I proved it to myself in this time frame that I could do this consistently and make money. And then I pushed harder. And then I pushed harder. And I just keep being consistent doing it. And it's not just, I actually borrowed principal and then I am trading on margin when I started pushing harder over here. I wasn't trading on margin until right over here. And this has started trading on margin on the positions that I have open.
And a margin for a lot of people can be a double-edged sword. But if you have something that's working, it's really going to boost your returns. If you have something that's not working, you're probably going to cut your own head off.
Am I recommending that anybody do what I'm doing exactly? No. I have my experience. You have your experience. Everybody has to start where they start. I started back here and you don't see it because it wasn't in this account. Once I figured out what I was going to do, I was like, I'm going to put this money into the account that has the lowest commission cost, which was Robinhood. And I'm going to show it for free, verified, by putting it on KInfo. I actually pay to put it on KInfo. I pay monthly to be able to show this to you because I want the public to hold me accountable to this challenge.
Robert says, so basically selling the puts to get cash flow and then rolling them to continue getting cash. And at some point, you have to purchase the stock. You don't necessarily have to purchase the stock. You can always buy that put back that you sold before you get the stock put to you. But having the stock put to you at some point is part of the deal, Robert, in that once you've done, let's say you've done 4 cash secured puts, then you get the stock put to you. at any point, you just turn around and start selling calls against that stock to continue cash flowing it.
Ah,
That's why I say whether it's a put or a call, just do not stop cash flowing the asset, whether it's
this
up or down.
this one right here, I only did one shot. One shot, $30. That was it. I saw the opportunity. Jack and I talked about it. Jack was like, I'm not touching that one. I was like, I'm going to shoot for it. I went ahead and did microchip right here. And I did it on the third for the options on the fifth. 2-day burn, 30 cents, 59 strike. Paid $31 and it went out for zero.
And it's fun to do this. I love it. It's so much easier. Like I say, when I was doing directional trades, I'd give myself a headache every morning just finding a new stock to go long that stock, right? This is so much easier, especially with the software we're using now and our total approach. This just it's easier. And it's more profitable. I've made way more money doing this. Well, I should say it's about even now. But directional stuff, if you buy and hold, that can be good, but there's no cash flow in it, and that's what I love the most.
And this microchip, I'm going to pull it up here if this thing will ever let it load here. MCHP, back on the 5th. I saw opportunity in here. Jack didn't necessarily agree with me, but I sold that 59 on the 3rd for the 5th. And this thing popped. Now it's coming back down. I might do it again if it comes back down in this vicinity. But
Did you get the stock at 59?
No.
Oh.
I just sold that 31 cents and then walked away when I kept it.
That's sweet.
And the thing was, it got near this resistance here, and I was like, it's probably going to pull back. And it's pulling back. I have the knack for predicting price. Not everybody's learned this along the way. I've kind of learned some technical patterns.
You sure have. I've never seen anybody call tops and bottoms like you have. Never. In 40 years of doing this, I've never seen anybody as good at you at tops and bottoms. I'm not good at it. That's why I like to buy high and sell higher. I just like a straight trend. But you can look at almost anything and see a pattern.
How did I get that way? Because I spend every day hunting through charts looking for this stuff. I love this stuff. I want to be able to predict price. Some of the best traders I've ever met could predict price. They could see the patterns. I decided I was going to teach myself how to do that. And it's been a years long process, but now I'm starting to be kind of good at it.
Yeah, you are.
And I don't get it right every time. Chipotle is an example of me messing up. I messed up. I didn't quite get it. Sometimes they don't do exactly what I want to do. But for every Chipotle, there's hundreds of these that do exactly what I thought they were going to do. Like Tesla's doing exactly what I've been saying since back here in the summer when we bottomed.
Dude, I've lost count of how many you've called exactly. You called IBIT 2 years ago. Just you've made some crazy predictions that none of us in the team have, and you've been right every time, except for CMG. I think that's the only time I see you not be right. So 1 out of 2,000 is pretty good.
The scariest thing to me is I called the day
I know.
that this would top within 2 days.
I know.
Like
yeah, and
3
another
years
low
before.
you picked. Yeah, you picked another load, and we're all looking at each other like, "Ugh, I don't know what this guy's. Is he moonshining this early in the morning, or is he? How could he predict this far out? And man, I mean to the penny.
Sometimes I get it right, especially if I don't have what the craziest thing, Jack, is when I don't have any money on the line, I have this clarity. Yeah, it's like the AVGO. I was telling you that I thought this was going to pull back. I didn't have any money on the line, and I told you it was probably going to come touch this right here. You were like, I just got this feeling it's going to keep going, and
There's no way this is coming back. Yeah, look at that.
and now here we are, and maybe we find support right here. You said you would love this because there's a buying opportunity.
Anything here, I'm buying it almost every day, and it's filling in that gap real nice. And I think this one they got the story wrong on. I think the market's totally wrong on this, and I think the market's totally wrong on Hood.
So Hood, I still see some potential downside, and I don't have any exposure. This is actually one of the. I talk crap about this pulling back. This is one of my top tickers for making profit this year.
Yeah, mine too. It's in my top 3.
It's probably my top 5. My dad's account has like almost 10 grand of profit off of the Hood run back here. And I was selling puts back here earlier in the year on Hood. Put some shares, wrote it up, sold them out at my target. This right here was my technical pattern. I sold them out
Nice.
right in here. Got put right in here. I was selling puts all the way through here. Got put right in here, wrote it up, got out. Then I don't touch it. I just stay away. Hot stove. This is the high probability move. The rest of this is just who knows. So people always give me a hard time. They're like, oh, you were in that and you gave up so early. You missed out on all this upside. I'm like, yeah, but it was one of my best trades. And
Yeah, I know. I walked away from Soxel and never got back yet.
yeah,
Sometimes you do. You just hit it and quit it and walk off.
the single best trade I've done this year was on NEM. I don't know if we've even talked about this one. Maybe we did. This trade started back here on this low in 24. Came up here. My mom called me and told me she was going to buy gold. She was going to liquidate part of her account, use one of those TV salesman people and buy some gold. She had this whole deal worked out. I begged her to please don't do that. I said, when the time's right, I'll buy you some gold exposure. And I kind of begged her. I was like, please don't do it. And this pulled back to my technical support. And right here in December, or no, late November, December, I bought her some January 2026 60 strike calls. 60 strike. Paid about $1 a piece for them. Bought her like 10 of those. So I was like about $1,000 on the line. Way less than her selling like, $100,000 of her stocks and going and giving it to the gold people who were probably only going to give her ever back, $80,000 or something, even at today's high gold prices. And I bought some for myself, kind of maybe a little larger position than I should have, because when we failed right here, failed to break out, I got spooked and closed almost all of my position right there on that dip for barely barely above break even, like $1.30 or something like that. I was like, I don't want to take a loss on this. I can't take a loss. I can't afford it. So I got out with most of my position. I kept a few contracts, like 5. Then this thing started on a tear. And when we got to the 80s up here, I think it was 84 is where I sold out. I sold my mom's contracts for about $25 a contract. Maybe it's $26 a contract, something like that. I made her basically $25,000 on this, $25,000 profit on
Very
this
nice.
trade. I made roughly, between my account, my dad's account, my wife's account, maybe another $5,000. All in all, that's about $30,000 profit. That's the single best trade I've done this year, where I just bought something and sold it. Didn't do any other trades.
I'll have to figure out what mine is before the end of the year.
That was my single best, buy and hold on a leap. So how do I know? I mean, how did I know to do that? From following this pattern. I watch it, I trade it, I do it over and over. There's lots of other gold companies. Some of them outperformed. People give me a hard, people are like, why didn't you do this one? Why didn't you do that one? I pick the horses I pick. I mean, you can't trade everything. You can't watch everything. You can't be everywhere. You can't do all the trades. I can, give me any chart. I'll show you every trade you missed. I mean, I missed this pullback. I didn't trade that. I missed this pullback. I didn't trade that one. I didn't trade that pullback. I didn't trade this pullback. I got out over here, so I didn't trade any of this. I missed all sorts of stuff, but I did get the piece I got, which was worth about 30 grand, getting in here and getting out right over here. Am I sad I missed out this? I don't even care. I don't hardly look at this chart. Could it go on up to 115? Sure. Could it come right back down below where I sold, back down in this 70 area? Absolutely. So it's about getting what you get and not sweating it. The shoulda, coulda, woulda, fear of missing out game is the most dangerous game you can play as a trader.
No question about it.
You start playing, well, I should have done this, I could have done this, I would have done this. And then you're second guessing yourself. And then you start changing how you're doing it. And you take the consistent, profitable thing that you've built and you start effing it up. I know I can do this consistently. I've proved it to myself. I proved it to myself with one contract. I did one contract for months. Then I went to 2 contracts for a month. Then I went to 3 contracts for a month. And then I scaled up big after I did 3 contracts successfully for, I'd done 1 contract, 2 contract, 3 contract. I've been doing this for, 20, 30 years. I mean, we talked about the red hat trade, right? I knew I can make money doing this. Proved it pretty consistently. Then I eased up when I was like, oh man, I got a big win. I let my foot off the gas. And I was like, then I reevaluated. I was like, what the fudge are you doing, man? You're borrowing money. You gotta pay this off. We gotta make this work. Put my foot back on the gas.
Keep it on the gas.
So this kind of spooked me a little bit. Like I had a big win. I've not historically, when I get a big win, I get complacent and I take a big loss. And I think that's what, why I eased up a little bit. I eased up. I was like, I don't want to take a big loss. But then a couple months later, I hadn't taken a big loss, but I was easing up. So I had to get back on it. So hopefully this all helps everybody a little bit. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough game, but you got to stay in it.
Got to stay in it.
There, I just got my fill on the TSLL roll. Just rolled for 39 cents from this Friday to next Friday.
Right on.
All right, everybody. I think we got something else lined up. Blake.
Indeed, we do. I've been sitting here listening to you guys.
I'm very passionate about this and trying to help people. I'm not necessarily always the best teacher. That's why I lead by example. I feel like the best way to teach you is just to show you what I'm doing, how I do it successfully over and over, instead of explaining it to death.
It's great stuff.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Professor. I'll see you tomorrow.
That's right. Hey, Jack, we'll see you in about an hour on he's gone. We're gonna see my profit panel. Okay. I'm gonna kick this off.
All right, man. Let's kick it off.
Let's kick it off. Oh, now I gotta take my screen share back so I can share the audio.
There you go. There you go.
There you see, figuring it out. There we go.
All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow. Here we go. Well, I'll still be here if you guys need anything.
He's cracked the code right here, and you guys are lucky to be here. I can't wait to get sharing this with you.
Well, Jack, what do you say? I think everybody's ready.
Let's do it.
All right. You should be able to see my screen.
Yeah, we got the tools and strategies to the best of our ability. We build them, but no one can guarantee the future. There's always a risk of loss when trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. The trades shown are from a back test of 279 trade signals this year. The result, 89.9% win rate. That's amazing, with a 12.7% average return. That's winners and losers included, folks, with an average hold time of less than 48 hours. That's what I'm talking about. That's the sweet spot, 48 hours. Now, every trade targets roughly 250 in income based on 1,000 in risk unless otherwise stated, although you can risk more or less if you'd like to. We cannot guarantee any specific future results, as there's always a high degree of risk involved in trading. See our terms on the Prosperity Pub homepage for more information. Now, let's be real. In trading, there will be losers. There's no black box miracle system that prints out winning trades automatically. The whole purpose of Jeffrey's research and work with traders is to help give you an edge in the markets. And if you can't handle a losing trade, then you really shouldn't be trading with real money. Again, losses in trading have occurred and will occur again in the future. Hi, everybody. I'm Jack Carter. Thanks you for being here on a Sunday. You may know me as the Income Ace. With a strategy so successful, I've achieved a 95.9% win rate on over 200 live real money signals, including during the crash of 2022, had a high win rate. And as I say, given my track record, I normally avoid everybody else and all other financial recommendations. But just a few weeks ago, my good friend and colleague, Jeffrey Turnmeyer, the professor, he came to me with a trading breakthrough, and that's what this is. Now, he didn't claim he found the next AI stock or the next big biotech moonshot. Instead, he said he developed a new way to target what he calls high frequency income. And I'm talking about placing one high probability trade when the signal hits and watching as the trade automatically closes out, sometimes just hours later, targeting right around $250 on each trade. Now, unlike most income strategies, which take days or weeks for the trade to play out, he says this one isn't a once in a blue moon type of opportunity. Not once a week trade, not even once per day. Thanks to a fully automated trading engine he'll reveal in just a moment, we get a shot at high frequency income up to 3 times per day. Every day the stock market's open, it's yours. Now, like what the research shows on Monday, September 15th, most investors would not have made a penny on a flat day like this. But anybody taking advantage of this new technique could have cashed in not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. High frequency income trade number 1, $214 overnight. High frequency income trade number 2, $231 overnight. High frequency trade number 3, $306 in high frequency income overnight. Altogether, that would have been an extra $751 in high frequency income. I like it. And that's just from one day of alerts. Imagine that. Imagine how that might stack up for an entire week. Now, before you start guessing on what today's opportunity is all about, let me assure you, this has nothing to do with risky directional day trading where you're frantically trying to guess which way the market might go. You don't have to be glued to your screen all day babysitting these trades. And it's not another one of those too good to be true gimmicks promising outrageous returns. Now, this dog can hunt. What today's opportunity is about is targeting reasonable returns in a short amount of time over and over again. Because as you'll see in just a moment, when we're able to stack up small win after small win while limiting the losses, good things can happen to your account. For example, like what would have happened at the beginning of July. Now, let's say someone started with just 1,000. Of course, you can always start with more. Monday, July 7th, $141. Tuesday, July 8th, 2 opportunities, 141. Tuesday, 535. Wednesday, July 9th, another 157. Thursday, July 10th, another 142 in high frequency income. Friday, you got 3 of them, $650 on one day. Those first 2 days were down days and it still paid off. Now, all in all, anybody could have pocketed 1,628 in high frequency income without a single setback. And while 1,600 might not be life-changing money, that's extra cash that could go towards the groceries, the mortgage, or even the savings account, all from clicking a few buttons each afternoon and watching as the positions automatically close out by the next day. Now, of course, I want to remind you that not every trade is going to be a winner. In fact, losers are part of the game too, so never over-leverage yourself with too much on the line, as that would be a recipe for disaster. But here's what makes these high-frequency incomes opportunities and take it up a notch, okay? You see, thanks to a timed advantage buried deep in the options market, these income opportunities are specifically designed to pay in all sorts of market scenarios, even when the price falls below our entry point, meaning the market can go up, the market can stay flat, or even go slightly against us for the trade to still work out and get that 250. Now, this is allowing us to trade with an incredibly high hit rate while getting maximum bang for the buck. For example, take a look at what would have happened during the next week in July. Trump's tariffs were back in the news and uncertainty was creeping back into the markets. He threatened a tariff blitz on 14 different countries. Yet again, you could have tuned out all that and instead tuned into these high frequency income opportunities using only a few minutes each day to take advantage of them. Now, let's say somebody was twice as confident and started with 2,000 invested. How would folks have fared the next week? Well, Monday, the market went up $794. Tuesday, no trade. That happens. Wednesday, markets dipped and recovered, got 996 payout. Thursday, markets rallied, you get another 858. Thursday, markets opened higher, then sold off. But that didn't matter one bit because you got 590 in another high frequency trade. Now, altogether, that would have been another $3,220 for you hitting the bank for anybody following along automatically. Now, an extra 3,000 in the bank might sound massive to you. For others, it might be a drop in the bucket. I think it's a lot. Either way, it's a needle moving amount of cash, all while limiting downside risk as well. So if you're looking for a new way to trade, one that doesn't require a ton of effort, but has shown the power to pay almost every day the market's open, then look no further. Because in the next few minutes, my special guest, Jeffrey Turnmeyer, is going to walk you through exactly how these high frequency income opportunities work. The new trading tool that makes everything for you possible, everything from the alert to the exit, it's fully automatic. And the timed advantage within the options market that helps these trades hit with an incredibly high win rate. Plus, we're going to invite you to take the newest trades alongside Jeffrey this week, targeting right around 250 on each and every one with a small $1,000 investment. So welcome to my good friend and expert trader, Professor Jeffrey Turnmeyer. Now, Jeffrey is no rookie. He might be cute, but he's no dumb cookie when it comes to trading. You might know him as the man who always gets lucky with his big predictions, like back in 2022 when the Fed was raising rates at the fastest pace in history and the market was falling fast. Everybody was clueless, but Jeffrey put his reputation on the line and called the exact bottom of the S&P 500. Just days before it bottomed out September 30th, 2022. Or what about his epic call in February of this year? Jeffrey predicted the top of the market was in on February 28th, warning his followers that a sharp drop was likely coming. And as you know, that's exactly what happened. The markets tumbled more than 20% the following days, making the worst flash crash since COVID. But Jeffrey's bold predictions aren't the only thing that helped him rack up over 1 million in verified trading profits, a million. He also utilizes multiple trading strategies that are absolutely crushing it, like his one ticker strategy with an unheard of 100% win rate on 86 straight trades, or his automated trading algorithm that's averaging 6.3 wins per day on autopilot with a 74% win rate. And it's these strategies, along with a few others, that have helped several top traders hit major milestones in their account. Like Donald says, I started using Jeffrey's day trading system with $10,000. My account now is up 400%. Amazing. Denise says, I'm forever grateful for discovering Jeffrey Turnmeyer. Over the last 4 months, I've been able to turn a $400 Robinhood account into $8,000 just by following Jeffrey's advice. Ed wrote in, he's up over 100,000 thanks to Jeffrey and his strategies. And then Robert T wrote in to say he's nearly doubled his account. And Jerry had one of the best trading days ever, over $30,000 in one day. And what might be the best one yet? David A bought himself a brand new Corvette with his winnings thanks to a 227% year-to-date return. Awesome. Now, of course, that certainly isn't the typical return that everybody should expect to make. But as great as all those top stories are, they don't even hold a candle to what Jeffrey's going to share with you today. A new way to target high frequency income up to 3 times per day. And everything from the entry alert to the exit is fully automatic. Now, with that said, Jeffrey, show us how this all works and take it away from here.
Oh yeah, Jack. Thanks for, calling me the professor and bragging on. I mean, it's these traders that do this hard work to get these testimonials. Like, it's not just me. I just provide stuff for people, and I want to thank everybody for taking time and being with us here today. I mean, seriously, thank you for coming and being with Jack and I here today. It means a lot to me that this many people would take time out of their weekend. I'm on a mission. I want to show everybody how straightforward it can be to automatically target like $250 with $1,000 risk, potentially several times a day, over and over and over. As a matter of fact, all you have to do is take a few seconds, really. You could be in this trade locked and loaded with just a few moments. Set up an alert. Set up the trade when the alert hits like this. And when everything works out, watch the trade automatically close out, sometimes just hours later. Certainly by the next day. It's all thanks to a brand new trading engine that I have named the CashBot right here. Now, to set the stage, CashBot isn't some sort of trading platform. It's no indicator. It's no software that you run. This is a high-frequency income engine, and it's designed to exploit a timed advantage in the options market, and then pack it all up with the trade details, tell you exactly what to do, with everything you should need to do to trade on the go. No charts, no staring at anything. So instead of sitting at your desk, using indicators, hunting for those profitable trading setups, you could be sitting at the gym, pumping out some iron, click a few buttons, maybe out walking the dog, possibly just enjoying your life, chilling wherever you might be. These automatic CashBot alerts are going to virtually be there for you like clockwork. Anytime the market's open, it's going to be sitting there hunting for these opportunities over and over. For example, August 11th, not too long ago, CashBot alert would have hit your cell phone 9:32 a.m. with everything that you needed right there. All the instructions, the ticker, the options, everything. You could have pushed a few buttons to copy the trade and then back to your day. And this one, just 3 hours later, well, $316. That's pretty good. That's high frequency, and it's right in the brokerage account. Right there. The very next day, CashBot hit 10:50 a.m. Nice. Maybe this time you're out to eat with a friend, catching up. Could have pulled out the phone, placed a quick trade. Another $235 right there. And how about the next day? Another one right there, CashBot, 2:54 in the afternoon. Felt the alert in your pocket. The bzzz. Maybe 2 minutes to set up the whole thing. That's about all you need right there. And even though the markets were flat for that day, another $356 on the next morning, right in your account, right there.
Jeffrey, between those last three alerts, which happened back to back to back, that's a total of $907 over the course of just 3 trading days. No timing the exits, no staring at screens, just clear automatic signals sent straight to the cell phone or your laptop every single day. So tell us, how exactly does this work and what makes this trade so consistent?
All right, Jack. This is all thanks to a timed advantage in the options market, which we'll dig into deeper and get nerdy on it here in just a few minutes. In fact, this is the same exact setup that I use in my undefeated income strategy that's now 86 wins in a row over the last couple of years without a single loser on the books. That's how powerful this particular trade setup is. Now, before we dive into all of that, I've got to first say, having a strategy that gets you in and out fast, regardless of market direction, well, I feel like that's kind of critical right now, especially with all the chaos. The rhetoric just keeps amping up. I think we can all feel it, right? Things are getting a little bit sketchy as far as volatility goes. Look at the drop on Friday. It's kind of really indicative of what is potentially set to come. Over the last few weeks, we've seen economic data hitting the markets that's kind of concerning, personal spending falling off a cliff, unemployment rate rising, the government's shut down, and stocks are hitting overvalued levels that we've never seen before. The last time we saw stocks at these levels, like the dot-com bust, bubble, whatever you want to call it, we had a multi-year bear market. 0% return for, really, it was 14 years because we went right into the great financial crisis and it just went sideways for years, over a decade. The time before that, though, a little bit before my trading time, 1970s stagflation, this is kind of similar to today's economy. We're kind of AI bubble and stagflation economy. We got a 1-2 whammy here that we're kind of piling on. Now, take a look at the market action. 3 major drops, zero return for over a decade again. And I'm not trying to be a doomsday guy. I do warn about all this stuff, but I'm not here telling you to sell off your stocks. But there's definitely a very legitimate reason to be concerned about the markets and the potential returns over the next few years. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. Jack doesn't have a crystal ball. I get lucky sometimes with predictions, but nobody knows with 100% certainty what's going to happen next every single day. That's just not part of the game. But here's what I do know. Nobody wants this sideways action for a decade in their own portfolio. I mean, that's not fun. That's not, especially if you're trying to retire, right? Nobody can afford to have their account stuck in the mud while inflation is going higher every single day. Because even if your account isn't really going down, the withdrawals, these increasing costs of living, they destroy comfortable retirement dreams. And that's why it's so important that you have the CashBot running for you, potentially right now, as soon as tomorrow. Because not only has CashBot shown the power to generate consistent returns even during market downturns, but beyond that, it can also kick open the door to some high frequency income opportunities that could really compound for you over time, pretty much all on its own, without me doing a single thing, taking advantage of what could be virtually the safest type of trade that I've ever used for anything. One that's shown the power to win in all kinds of market scenarios that we've had this year. Like, you know, what the research shows has happened during the third week of July. Monday, the markets went up, cashed out almost $300 right there. Tuesday, markets went down, got 3 more alerts, and booked out $549. These are all with $1,000 risk on the table. Wednesday, market dipped, rallied about $197. And Thursday, the markets were flat with $235 right there. Not too bad. And Friday, a little bit of chop, another $175.
Well, Jeffrey, from that 1 week in July, that would have been an extra $1,454 sitting in folks' account. That's $1,400 that could have gone toward the groceries, the mortgage, or the credit card balance without having to make any extra withdrawals from your long-term portfolio. But as great as that is, it gets even better because that's only 7 of the 31 winning signals that would have hit for you in July. That's 6,036 in cash bot income.
Yeah, with just $1,000 risk on every trade.
Each one, that's it. Now, somebody twice as confident, starting with twice as much, they would have seen 5 figures. That would have been $12,072 in cash bot income automatically. And that could have been enough to cover the average American's monthly expenses and still have a lot of money left over. And keep in mind, folks, that's without needing to stare at screens all day. So, Jeffrey, why don't you walk us through exactly how CashBot works and how anyone today can get started running it for them today?
Oh, Jack, I'd love to do this. I mean, thank you all for being here with us today. Now, as a reminder, not every trade's a winner, all right? There's winners, there's losers, there's small wins, there's big wins. It's just kind of how trading works, all right? There's a substantial risk of loss whenever you take a trade. That said, these high-frequency income opportunities that show a high accuracy rates are all thanks to a little-known phenomenon that's buried inside this options market. And now when I say options, people kind of assume I'm talking about buying options in the hopes that we get a rally, or, you know, a move up, or, you know, in the case of put options, a big move down. And that's how a lot of people trade options. But there's actually a big problem with trading options that way. You see, Wall Street lists these options. They sell them to people like me, Jack, other people. In fact, Jack was a market maker doing this. They bake in another factor that makes it nearly impossible to consistently win with options. It's called time decay. Now, the way time decay works is the longer you hold onto one of these options, the more premium your position's losing. So right now, you could be totally right on what's going to happen next. Totally right on the direction, totally right on the time, but potentially still lose money because time decay works against you constantly. And even worse, if the stock doesn't move or possibly goes lower, well, you might lose everything if you're in a long position. Now, if you're not familiar with options, don't worry about it. You don't need to even understand all of this to take advantage of CashBot, but I do want to walk you through it because maybe you'll have a light bulb moment like I did when I was coming up with this. You see, when Wall Street lists these options and sells them to you, they want these options to expire worthless, right? They want to sell it high and buy it back low, or never buy it back and just watch it go to zero. As a matter of fact, a study by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the CME, reported that 76% of all the options that ever come into existence expire worthless. 76%. And in another report by the Financial Post, who have studied options extensively, by the way, they found that 90% of all options buyers actually lose money. Options buyers. That's a lot of times that's retail traders right there. 90% of us lose money come expiration day, even if they're right on the underlying move. Think about that for just a minute. That's really rigged against us right there. The Wall Street people, they just intentionally designed this thing this way because when you lose money, guess who's making the money? The house always wins, right? So they set this up. They set you and I up for failure by jacking up these option prices with aggressive time decay baked into them. And the more people that play, it seems like the higher the prices get. That way your wins, potentially few and far between, and Wall Street takes most of the money. The house wins right there. The point here is that many investors are losing money on options, and it's not because they're getting direction wrong or timing wrong. It's because the options instruments themselves are rigged against you. However, as I'm going to show you, we can flip the script on this thing with a special type of options trade. The same one that's the backbone of my undefeated income strategy with a 100% win rate. CashBot flips the script, making all this time decay stuff work for you. Allows us to potentially get paid even the market moves sideways or down or up or no matter the direction. For example, take a look at what happened back in August. Now, at the time, the market digesting another hotter than expected inflation report. Yeah, stagflation. And the odds of a Fed rate cut suddenly questioned by the market. But none of that really mattered because on August 15th, CashBot would have sent this out right here. Gave you all the details at 2:43 p.m. And watch this right here. Over the next day, the market didn't really go anywhere. We failed to break out. We failed to break down. We kind of just moved sideways really fast. And a lot of people buying short-dated options, whether you were long or short, probably coughed up at least a 50% loss due to that time decay because the market didn't really go anywhere. But thanks to CashBot automatically picking the best options play where time decay works for us, well, potentially cashing out $257 in that same time frame right there.
Jeffrey, I'm pretty sure everybody here would love to have booked an extra $257 from just one trade, especially with how bad inflation has been over the last few years. Forcing retirees to head back to work, many to pick up second jobs while their savings rate dropped to record lows. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd much rather click a few buttons here and there than sit at a desk for hours on end.
I know you love to go fishing.
Well, especially when these CashBot is doing all the heavy lifting and spoon feeding me these options, ones that can still pay even when the market goes nowhere, like you just showed us. So, Jeffrey, you have to give us more information. Now, you mentioned that CashBot is selecting options on its own in a way that makes time decay something that normally eats up accounts. You're making that actually work for us? So, I'm sure folks are wondering, can you even lose?
Oh, I mean, losses are part of this game. We've only won about 9 out of 10 of these trades. So of course you can, no strategy wins all the time. There's bound to be winners and losers, no matter how good or how good your strategy, how good you think you are. I mean, it's just part of how the trading game works. But the secret to a high hit rate is all thanks to this special type of options trade that I've built this whole thing around. Now, instead of just telling you how it works, let's just show you how it works. It's probably easier. We're all visual learners, right? So what you see here, a daily chart of the S&P 500's Spider ETF here, SPY, SPY. Maybe you're familiar, maybe you're not. Let's say you took $1,000, regular call options right there. Play some short dated options, $1,000, we're going to buy it right there. Now, to get to our $250 daily profit target, you got to get to the white line, right? And time decay works against us. Because the way that time decay works, it takes a bigger and bigger move higher the longer we're in this trade. Now, with CashBot, we kind of flip this curve around. And time decay actually works for us. The longer we're in the trade, the more likely it is for us to actually make profit in this trade. Meaning, anytime price crosses the white line, we're going to get to that profit target. And we're going to get closed out automatically for the $250 profit target, turning what may be a loser because of time decay into potentially a $250 winner right there. Let's look at this again. We would have gotten the entry signal right here from the cash bot, told us exactly what to do. Now, had we bought long call options, even though we're right on direction, time worked against us and we never got to the profit target. But with time decay working for us, cash bot trade that it would have thrown out to you potentially closed out an automatic winner right there. And then the very next day when the market was dropping, even though price closed below our entry point from the cash bot alert, we still got to the profit target right there, right before the closing bell. You see, Jack, as long as the market doesn't just completely flush out, potentially we win almost every time because of this time decay sweet spot that's out there in the options market. It's this 48-hour window where we can heavily stack the odds in our favor of getting a successful trade. Now, you don't really have to understand everything. Like I said, I'm going to get a little nerdy on you. That's just kind of options professor, market professor coming out of me a little bit out here. Cashbot does all these calculations automatically in the background, and you don't have to sweat a darn thing. I want you though to kind of understand the mechanics of how these alerts are working, and it just gives us the power to win in all market scenarios. So look at this chart right here. Slow time decay, fast time decay, right there. What you see here is known as the time decay curve. As you can see, these option premiums, the premium above and that you pay to get into an option, it's a time value. It's always dropping towards zero at expiration time, right here. Oh, the out of the moneyness always dropping towards zero. Now, in that last 48 hours, this thing goes exponential. It just drops right off the cliff. Really starts eroding fast. We call this a time decay sweet spot right here. This is when you can be totally right about the direction of a stock, and because that extreme time decay, you still lose money on options right there. Now, if you're buying options like the typical trader does, this time decay sweet spot, whether you knew it or not, it's kind of your worst nightmare. But thanks to Cashbot and the special trade I've designed here, all this stuff works for us right here. This is the sweet spot where we can rapidly make the money. We flip the script, and instead of losing money as time ticks away, we potentially profit from it handily. And that's why we're able to stack up these wins, even if the stock is going sideways or potentially a little bit against us. Like the research shows on August 25th, this alert right here would have hit your cell phone, 10:16 a.m., right there, all the details. Let's say you invested about $1,000 when the alert hit. Anybody gambling on daily call options would have walked away with 100% loser. Never gotten anywhere close to the $250 profit target. But thanks to the time decay working in our favor with this sweet spot, even though the market was dipping, another winner right there, close out automatically. We got to the profit target. About $281 on that if you had risked $1,000 investment. Watch it again the very next day. Cashbot alert, 1:28 p.m. Just take a couple minutes. Type it in really quickly. Tells you what to do exactly. Put in the entry, put in the exit. No big deal. Go about your life, knowing that one of the most powerful forces in the option market is working for you instead of against you. Maybe you got some errands to run. Maybe hanging out with kids or grandkids, getting that quality family time in. And sure enough, this one automatically closing out just like all the others. $250 right there. That one in particular, $257 in high frequency income with $1,000 risk on the table. And remember, we don't just get one opportunity a day, right? Sometimes we get three. That's pretty smoking right there. Like the very next day in August, let's say maybe you risked $2,000 this time. Maybe you made some gains and you wanted to risk some market money, right? You got the first one at 9:34 a.m. All the details right there. Hey, that worked out in our favor. $600. Nice. This was with a $2,000 investment, $2,000 at risk. Second one, 10:50 a.m. or 10:50 p.m. Excuse me, $516. Third one, 3:40 p.m. right before the market closed, another $667 the next day. Altogether, another $1,785 in high frequency income. And everything from the entry alert to the exit, it's all fully automatic included for you. Of course, we can't expect to nail 3 winners in a row every single day, every single time. That's just not reality. But I hope you can see how potentially hands-off this cashbot makes this new way to target high-frequency income opportunities. Step 1, you get the alert. Looks just like this, sent straight to your favorite trading device, whether it's a cell phone on the go, your laptop, your desktop, your tablet. You get that ticker. You get the actual options to place right there. It tells you exactly what to do. Sell this, buy this. It gives you the close target. You can put that order on just as soon as you get filled. The exact return when everything works out in your favor. And from there, you just let this baby ride. You don't think about it. Just let it cook. Isn't that right, Jack?
Right. And Jeffrey, I have to admit, it is really remarkable. This is brilliant, taking advantage of time decay, what you did here. Not only have you flipped a trader's biggest pain point, I know it, time decay is a killer, but you've turned that into a hidden gold mine. That's the brilliance of this, reducing the risk and maximizing the profits. But even more impressive is that your data shows that people could have done it with an 89.9% win rate on over 250 high-frequency income opportunities so far from your study. Each one of the winners targeting right around $250 on average, including some incredible profits even when the stock market fell slightly against you. So Jeffrey, it's time to tell us, how can we get in on the next opportunity with CashBot?
Well, obviously the key here is knowing when the stars are aligned, right? So that we can take advantage of this time decay sweet spot. And even though CashBot is programmed to handle all of that automatically, I'll show you everything that you need to know to deploy your first high frequency income opportunity right away. It doesn't matter who you are, whether where you live even. You could be anywhere. Whether you're young, whether you're old, everybody is welcome to get started with this thing. Potentially right now. I'm holding a live step-by-step workshop to show you exactly how you can start targeting these high-frequency payouts with just a few clicks of the mouse. It'll include the full details, how to place your first trade, how the CashBot options work, how the whole mechanics of the thing, including how to automate the exits for maximum gains. All the details are included. I'll also teach you the entry criteria that my team and I use to increase our win rate to over 89.9% so far, giving us extra peace of mind when to place these trades, knowing that our research shows that they work out roughly 9 out of every 10 times out there. Once you get your hands on this workshop, you'll be stunned at how clear-cut this really is. You'll immediately be able to start using CashBot as soon as the next alert, whenever it hits, with up to 3 potential opportunities every single day. After hitting just a few buttons, you could have the trade locked up, loaded, sent off into the market. That's all there really is to it. Just like what happened recently in September 7th, this alert fired off right here on SPY. Another one, this one right here on QQQ. These are real live alerts. Another one right here, IWM. Took me maybe 30 seconds or less to get up into each one of these trades and have it all ready. And sure enough, all 3 of them closed out automatically at the next market open. High frequency income trade number 1 with $1,000 on the table, $428. Number 2, with $1,000 on the line, $475. And number 3, with $1,000 on the line, $400. Not too shabby. Then, guess what? We got the chance to do it all over again the very next day. September 8th, couple more alerts. 2 more right there. This one for IWM, this one for SPY. Let them cook. Another $100, another $250. Not bad.
Hey, Jeffrey, I love it. And I'd love to be enjoying the morning coffee while a few $100 hits the account, hands-free when everything worked out. Now, of course, any regular brokerage account will get the job done, right?
Yeah, any regular brokerage account, if you have a self-managed 401k or IRA, that's going to do the trick too. You can trade anywhere you want to trade. And if you want to see just how powerful these CashBot alerts are with your own eyes, in Tuesday's live class, I'm going to show you how to place one of these trades on camera. I'll set it all up for you, explain all the details. That way we could target an extra 250 bucks potentially by the very next day. And remember, once the trade's set up, once you got your entry filled and your exit put on, your trade, you just let it cook. Your job's done. CashBot's alerts are designed to automatically close out potentially as soon as the next day. You can get started today by subscribing to the brand new high frequency income algorithm called CashBot. Didn't even get creative on that name.
That's
CashBot. This thing's the only thing I know of that's fully automated that helps you target these high frequency income setups by strategically using time decay in our favor. Automatically generating the alerts on the go with everything you need to know. Right there, just simplified all the details. Right there, done pretty much all the calculations you could need to place the trade. I'm happy to verify after analyzing over 250 of these this year. I mean, the final study has shown small account friendly. You can do this with as small as $100. In fact, the risk is actually smaller than $100, but you need about $100 in the account to be able to do one of these. If you put $1,000 on each one, roughly $250 is the average income from each one. And then has almost a 90% success rate. Yeah, 89.9. I mean, that's just high frequency, high expectation, repeatable. It's beautiful. Now, if you take one of these limited membership slots we're making available right now today, here's how it's going to work. Every day, you potentially get up to 3 of these CashBot alerts on SPY, QQQ, and IWM. Right there. I'll be right there in the trenches with you. I'm going to take as many of these things as I can because I built the tool for me. I got sick of trying to look up everything, so I built the tool that actually grabs all the details that I need to quickly place the trade. That's over 300 high frequency income opportunities each and every year, potentially sent right to you. Each one based on the same method that the study shows targets about $250 on average, up to 3 times a day. That's pretty fast. You immediately feel that alert come through, that buzz on your phone, or possibly you hear the ding on your computer. You get that ticker. You get the option trade right there. It literally takes a minute, maybe 2 to get it. Maybe if you're a little rusty or new at this, it might take you a couple minutes, but if you trade a lot, you could get this done in probably 30 seconds right there. The automatic exit price, you can just set this baby up and then go back to your day. And it tells you the return right there. Potential return on risk if everything works out and you got these numbers. From there, the trade potentially automatically closes out when it's ready. Maybe by the very next day. $257. Who wouldn't want that right there? Of course, I set this up to be easy as 1, 2, 3, right? 1, get the alert. 2, take action. 3, wait for the results. That's how you take advantage of these high frequency income opportunities. You can opt in to get these on Telegram or Discord. Pick your preferred method. Doesn't matter to me one bit. And remember, actually taking these trades takes a total of about 3 clicks in your brokerage account or 3 presses on your screen. Even if you're brand new, just a few trades, you can be a pro in no time. You just need a regular brokerage account, wherever that might be. Internet connection, few minutes to trade. When an alert comes out, no big deal. And yes, I've even set up an automated trade tracker. This thing automatically logs the trades into a spreadsheet so you can see how it's going in real time. Compare it to the S&P if you want to. Tuesday at 2 p.m., I'm going to host that masterclass where you can ask me pretty much any trading related question you might have. This session and potentially many more will be recorded and placed in your members area. We actually have one I did Friday as a pre-release that's already waiting for you today. But that's not all. You can chat with your peers in a live trade room that I have 24/7. Exchange trade ideas, collaborate. People like David with the Corvette, people like Sledge, people like, Denise, all of them in that trade room right there. And there's no better feeling than celebrating successes with other fellow traders. Like on September 2nd, this CashBot alert would have hit at 9:31 right after the market open. Another one at 10:02 shortly after the market open. And a third one later in the afternoon at 2:52 right there. Anybody could have taken all 3 of those trades if you wanted to and potentially noticed an extra $1,400 with $1,000 risk on each of those trades the very next morning.
Jeffrey, let's say someone was twice as confident and wanted to double the starting stake. Well, that could have been an extra $2,810 from just one day of cash bot alerts.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Crazy. I can't wait. And that's after just 3 trades. Now, as a member, you'll be getting 300 plus high frequency income opportunities every year. So, Jeffrey, I have to know, will a new membership cost around $2,810 per year?
Well, I mean, the team's already thought about jacking up the price after this initial offer, and I'm sure it's going to run more than that. I mean, publisher Nate already has this website up right here with a $3,000 per year price on it out in the main website that just went live. So for those who don't join today, you might pay more. But for those of you right here with us, I'm going to slash this baby way down. I want to get you jazzed up about this. Let me know in the chat. Are you excited about this right now? Let us know right now. Are you excited? I'm really excited. Jack, are you excited?
Yeah, I can't wait to start using this thing. I love the win rate. I love that it automatically closes out. I love it. And it just takes one, right?
Everybody's really excited, super excited. Let's go. I see it. You know, Jesse, Maria, David, Hank, Earl, everybody's excited. I mean, this thing shows, look at this win rate. This is insane what I've built here. It's at 89.
It's not just the win rate, but it's the profit as well, right?
No, yeah, we'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in a second. Just wait till you see this right here. Look at this. If anybody invested $1,000 into every one of these alerts so far, we're not talking about compounding. We're just even repeatable $1,000, 1,000 every trade, right? Just same risk every single trade. Not only would you have hit some impressive winners, I mean, some just crazy stuff like up to $600 in a couple hours. But even more important, I mean, I'm getting so tongue tied. I'm so excited. We're talking about a total profit, not $5,000, not $10,000, not even $20,000. Look at this. Look at this ridiculous number. Jack, that's $1,000 risk. I mean, most people could be able to do these. You're trading with house money right here. This is not even compounding. This is just $1,000 on every trade right there. $1,000 every trade. Imagine if you compounded it. That would be potentially stupid numbers. I mean, really. So here's what I'm going to do. CashBot's been averaging right around 7 wins a week all year long, based on the study. When you run the numbers, $1,000 each winning signal, roughly $1,840 a week. That's kind of what that works out to be. That $36,000 per week. You know, we're only, partway through the year. We haven't had a whole year. Of course, only the beta testers have been able to do this so far. So here's what I'm going to do to pay it forward to you at home right now. Because you're here right now, watch this broadcast. I'm going to take an average week of wins and knock that off the price. How's that sound? How's that sound?
Sounds awesome.
We're going to cut this down by about 60% off of Publisher Nate's price. So this is $11.55 for complete access right here.
Ooh. Jeffrey, that means at the current run rate and the average weekly returns, the entire membership fee could have been paid off in less than a week. I like that. Everything after that is just icing on the cake.
That's right, Jack. I mean, now I can only guarantee this for people here today, right now, because if we get a ton of people in here, I know Publisher Nate's going to be like, we got to cut this baby off right here. If any point my team out there feels like there's too many members for me to handle, we might have to cut this deal off. So if you want to join for the best deal that we're probably ever going to have, you're going to have to make a decision right now. If you're ready to experience the automated income trading machine known as the new CashBot, claiming that instant savings that we've got shaved off of Publisher Nate's price, plus all the other goodies out there, get ready to click this link right here. Founding memberships, they're going to go fast. I know it because the excitement in this room is super high. There we go. Deanna's got the link in the chat right there. Only $1,155 for an instant access right here today. Unlock this baby. 61% off is what I got, Jack. 61% off.
Crazy.
Publisher Nate's price. JeffreyTrader.com/cashbot. Click that link in the chat. If you need to talk to somebody, it is a Sunday. My team is limited, but 904-706-3537. Leave your, if you get a thing that asks you to leave your name and phone number, that will get back to you as soon as they possibly can. Have your credit card ready though. Easiest thing to do, click the link in the chat, jeffreytrader.com/cashbot. If you're going to type it in, make sure you spell my name right. There's only one E. My mom apologizes. She didn't know you're supposed to spell Jeffrey with two E's.
Yeah. And folks, you can click that link right there in the chat or have your credit card ready and give us a call, 904-706-3537. Now, the other thing is put your name and phone number in the chat if you want to get in on this. There might be 1,000 people on this call, and if they all hit that website at the same time, it's happened in the past where somebody might get froze up. So put your name and phone number in the chat and we'll get you locked in on this. And we got an even better deal maybe to show them, right? Ryan's asking about it.
Yeah, but before we get to the, there are lifetime deals. There's a couple other things we're going to talk about, but check this out right here. I've been trading this with my beta insider group for the last 2 months. So far, my personal trading, this is what I'm going to show you right here. I've done 24 of these trades over the last couple months. 91% accuracy on trades I took. Look at this, with $1,000 risk on each one of the trades that I took. You'd already have $4,000 in profit right there on just the 24 trades I took. And that's just over 1 month, just over 1 month.
Killing me with this. I want in.
Winners and losers included.
I want it. Hey, Jeffrey, even with 1,000 in each alert, people could have already covered the cost of the membership nearly 4 times over. This dog can hunt. And you've shown plenty of folks results like those in the past. Here's some more top stories from your other students. David S. Up $60,000. The account is now worth $112,000. Wow. I made over $15,000 in profits with zero stress about my positions, working on how to get rid of my day job so I can accelerate these profits. Patrick M. Way to go, Patrick. Rob R. 5,042 on one trade. The system has been on fire. I'm up $15,000 in the past week, Rod T says. Just want to share that I have my first $1,000 day. Obviously, I'm a newbie, but getting the hang of this, Jan R. Newbies making $1,000, folks. Wow, thank you, Jeffrey. On the last 7 trades, made $1,975. Ramon, way to go. After another successful trade, once again covered the entire cost of the lifetime membership, Robert M. Man, speaking of which, this is what everybody wants. I want to know. I'm seeing it in the chat. Is there even a lifetime option today we could get? Because I know I want it.
Yeah, of course there is. We're gonna shave this baby down. So once you check out, once you commit to grabbing that $11.55 price, don't close that next page, because on that page I'm gonna invite you to upgrade your membership to a lifetime with no renewal fees ever again, and we're gonna bring that price in for less than Publisher Nate's price for just 1 year. How's that sound? How's that sound?
Awesome. I love the lifetime deals. Those are the best ones.
So we're going to give you a lifetime access today only, for this special launch price, less than Publisher Nate's 1 year price. I like that. How's that sound to you, Jack?
Sounds awesome to me.
That's a steal. That's a steal, I think. That's lifetime access with over 300 trades a year.
I mean, can you imagine that? Can you imagine getting spoon-fed a trade or 3 every single day the market's open from a service that has an 89% win rate?
Plus, when you're done with it, you can pass it off to a friend or family member for free if you take that lifetime upgrade right there. So you can pass it on to somebody else and share the love right there after you've made all the money you want to make with it. Yeah. But I got to warn you, we're not running this discounted price forever. In fact, our manager Josiah is already in the chat like, hey, be careful here. So you want to get in on this. Get your opportunity right here today. Only $11.55 for instant access to get the next alert potentially as soon as tomorrow. As soon as the market's open, unlock the cash bot. 61% off right there. For a limited time deal, we've got a sweet deal sitting here. Maybe you're kicking the tires, you're not sure. I'm going to give you a second year for $400 if you take the first year. I'll let you upgrade for 2 years for just an extra $400 right here today. It's more than 50% savings off. Look at your first year, you got a second year for 50% of what it costs for the first year. Right there. You can access all the details. Once you click the link in the chat, do it right there. Deanna's got it in there. jeffreytrader.com/cashbot. Call the team 904-706-3537. And I want to remind you, the pricing is only guaranteed for today. This launch thing, super popular. We got tons of people right here. I want new members to get on board, up and running in no time. So if customer support gets overwhelmed, we're going to shut this baby down right there. First come, first serve, 11:55 for instant access today. So what's this next trade going to be?
Yeah.
Only the people that join me right here today are going to know and see it tomorrow.
Fair. That's fair.
Now, I can't promise any future returns, but look at how consistent these have been. Look at these. Look at back in March. March, we were getting ready to dip into Liberation Day. It wasn't a great time to be long stocks, actually. But the cash bot, we saw Monday, March 17th with $175. We saw Tuesday with $235. We saw Wednesday with $200, $1,000 risk on each one. Thursday, $461. Friday, $650. All in all, another $1,900 in high frequency income in the month of March, right there during 1 week. Don't miss out on this thing. 11:55 today to get instant access to this thing. The next market day open. Unlock it.
You got it all here. You got a winning track record. You got a full satisfaction guarantee. Again, he's putting his money where his mouth is. He's going to be doing it live for you more than once a month. And folks, we're talking about some serious results that could make a real impact on your life. 89.9% win rate. I think that might even go up. Here's a killer, 25.6% average winner. These numbers are amazing with a 2.34 profit factor. So every dollar you put in, 2.34 comes out. Now, 1,000 into each. This is non-compounding. $36,734 in profit. And that's only 9 months. How about having this cash bot work for you? And everything from the exit to the entry, it's fully automatic. He's going to teach you how to automate the exit even, right? So it's 11:55 for instant access today. Get the lifetime deal. That's the no-brainer deal. And put this dog to work for you. Now, here's some of the top stories from CashBot Trader so far. People are already bird dogging and testing this out in a beta group. Laura, she's turned $1,000 risk. She's loving it. First one I did. Paul, did my first one today, 5 contracts, 50% profit in under 4 hours. Jacob S. knocked 2 winners out on the same day. I want to do that. Nancy made 60% overnight. Way to go, Nancy. Now look, every one of you here on this call has the exact same ability as Donald S., Nancy, everybody else you see here. You just have to take action. Donald S. is cleaning up. You could clean up too. This is for everyone. Newbies, experienced people, Sledge, he's making a killing. Look at all that. He's sending in his profits to us. Folks,
over and over and over.
Yeah, it's not hard because it's automated. All you got to do is put on the trade that the cash bot sends you. It's only 11:55 for instant access today. This is a no-brainer deal, but let me tell you, get that lifetime deal.
Now, if there's one thing I want you to remember from today's class is this. If you're buying options like virtually every trader does, time decay works against you. It's a worst nightmare scenario. But thanks to CashBot working with us, with this time decay, it actually works for us right there. We flip the script. Instead of losing money as time ticks away, we potentially profit from it, meaning the market can go up, stay flat, or even go against us. And this thing potentially works out in our favor. You just got to know what trade to place and when to place it. And the CashBot does all that for you automatically. You can get in on this. Click the link in the chat right there, jeffreytrader.com/cashbot. 11:55 for 1 year. The lifetime deal, $26.50 right there. That's the price for today only.
Jeffrey, this really is a no-brainer, and I can't wait for the newest trades on Monday. I'm jacked up. But really quick, now let's cover some FAQs, then we'll dive into the chat. There's about 17,000 questions in the chat.
That chat's going faster than any chat I've ever seen.
Crazy. It's going crazy. Oh, hold on, folks. We're going to get to it, all right? Now, how much money is needed?
All right, you can do these. These are dollar-wide spreads, so you need $100 minimum in your account. That's it, $100 minimum.
Okay, I can handle that. Do I need? This is the other thing is you're talking about software. People hate downloading. I can't download anything. Do I got to download? Do I got to load this up or cut and paste or what is it?
No, all you got to do is be able to run a web browser, which hopefully you know how to do, and load up Discord or Telegram on a web browser. That's it. And if you want to install the app, you can, but you don't have to. Web browser is all you need. Both
Awesome.
100% free.
Cool. Do I need a $25,000 account?
Nah, I mean, hopefully that won't even matter soon. A few of these are day trades, very few. I've never even hit PDT since I've been trading them. But if you were to kind of get in that situation, you've got a few options for options. You can use a cash account, or you can open multiple accounts and trade a little here, a little there, and not worry about day trading limitations. Like I said, I've not really run into that in my own account, so I don't know that it'd be a problem really, especially if they do away with the 25,000 anyway. So hopefully that's just a couple weeks away.
Go away. The day trading rules will be gone soon. So, do these trades? Do you do these with your own money? I mean,
Oh heck yeah, baby! I built this tool for me. Usually I'm late getting in the trade, so I get worse prices. But I love this thing. So far I took 24 of them off 122. I give you first crack, so you're not competing with me. So right there.
do I need to sit in front of the computer? I see guys got jobs; they can't sit in front of the computer all day.
No, in fact, Jacob S. that was in the one of the testimonials there. He actually works as a car mechanic and can't even pick up his phone most of the time, but he still got up to two of them one day. Cashbot does all the heavy lifting, just tells you exactly what to do. You don't even have to look at the screen. You don't have to do anything. You just put it on and set up the exit. That's it.
Cool. Can I trade this in an IRA or 401k?
Yeah, as long as you have the ability to trade, you have that discretion to manage your own account. And I'm gonna in the masterclass, I'll show you what we need. It's level 2 or 3 options depending on your broker, or the works, tasty trade, and it's pretty easy to get.
Now, what if I have questions about how to set up this cash bot?
Well, that's the beauty here. We have customer support live every single day, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have phone crew that's set up, ready to help you, anything you need. And you got 14 days to call in the team and get it set up. And the rare chance that we can't get you set up, well, we'll give you your membership cost back. No questions asked right there.
That's fair. Now, what tickers do we trade? I see a million questions about crypto, penny stocks. What's the tickers?
SPY, QQQ, and IWM, the 3 indexes that have daily options. That's what we're going after right here. These have high frequency income opportunities. Since they have daily options, we get that 48-hour window opportunity every single day, and the bot picks out the opportunities every single day. If they add more daily options, I'll look at expanding this thing just as soon as I possibly can.
But those 3 are plenty. That's more. That'll keep you more than full. Now, the other thing is, do I need to be an advanced trader to use this, or do I need to know about options?
Not really. I mean, I've got everything you need in the members area waiting for you to teach you how it all works. It's the beauty of the Cashbot, though, is that it's basically I'm taking you fishing. I'm giving you the rod. I'm giving you the reel. I'm giving you the bait. We're going to my favorite hunting hole. I'm telling you where to cast it to catch that big fish, and 9 out of 10 times we catch that big fish just like we expected, right there. It's about as easy as we possibly could get it, Jack.
You gotta laugh though. You give them the 3 tickers that it works on, and then someone's gonna type in, "Does it work on something else?" Right? I don't know why you would do that. He just said IWM, QQQ, and SPY. So if you say, "Does it work on blah blah blah?" just understand that would be no. Now, can you recap everything I'm gonna get today? I'm gonna join today. I'm gonna get that lifetime deal. What all am I getting?
All right. We're going to get you that Cashbot software. We're going to get you access to the alerts. All right. This is the algorithm that I built that delivers up to 3 high conviction income plays every single trading day. Right. We got a step-by-step video on placing your first Cashbot trade. I've got that recorded. It's waiting for you in the members area. Remember, there's no installation of anything needed. You can run Telegram and Discord both in a web browser, 100% free, no extra cost. We're going to give you the Cashbot Elite training series. Now, you can bring all your questions to these masterclass sessions. I've got one set up for Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Can't make it, don't worry, we'll have others. I have one pre-recorded that I did Friday with my VIP early access members already. We've got automatic Cashbot trade logger. This thing just logs it for us automatically. Beautiful. We have a US-based customer support team. You can call in, ask questions. We have a live Zoom room every single day, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. prosperitypub.com/help. They're there. My top members, Kim and Gustavo, they already are fully aware of how this thing works. They can help you set up every single trade. If you need help tomorrow, go hang out tomorrow. If you need help Tuesday, go hang out Tuesday. You still don't get it by Wednesday, go hang out again. Every single day, Monday through Saturday, they're there to help get your question answered. Any broker, any platform, Discord, Telegram, whatever the question might be, go hang out with Cam and Gustavo. They're there to help you every single day, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And how could I forget the founding member discount on top of all this? Limited time savings, 61% off, only $11.55 for instant access today. JeffreyTrader.com/cashbot. Call the team 904-706-3537. If you need a replay, put your name and email in the chat asking for a replay.
All right, my friend, I got a lot of questions that I see in the chat that I want to run by you that we didn't have in the FAQ. And one of the top ones that keeps coming up is, what's the risk of assignment?
There is one, but I got assigned on Friday. I did. I'll just be straight up honest with you. I got into a trade about 10 minutes before Trump came out and announced. I did 15 contracts, just like the bot said, and I got assigned on 12 of them.
Okay.
Not the full boat, but I got 12 out of 15. So it is a risk.
Now, these don't always expire the same day. The expiration is actually for the following day, correct?
It's always the following day. There's never 0 days. Never 0 days.
What time of the day do the alerts come out? And
Whenever
how are they after they come out? I mean, can a guy take or a gal take the trade 2 hours after it comes out? Or what time does it come out?
So they come out when the price action finds the opportunity. When
We don't
everything,
know.
I don't have any special time. It could be first thing in the morning at 9:30 when the market's open. Could be 2 minutes before the market closes.
Okay, fine. Now, this has nothing to do with the day trader rules, right?
Now, I mean, there are maybe 5% of them. We've had 300 alerts so far this year, just about. Maybe 5% of those close out the same day.
Okay.
You actually do get an extra 15 minutes after the market closes to potentially get into one of these.
Okay.
So that you do have extra time. Like if the alert comes out at 3:58, you've actually got till 4:15 to place the trade if you want to get in. So how long do you have after the alert comes out? Plus or minus 5 cents. If I can't guarantee if the market's moving fast, maybe you've only got a minute or two to get in the trade. If the market's moving slow, maybe you got 2 or 3 hours to get in the trade.
Gotcha. No, do you need margin or just options approval?
Just options approval.
You need level
You can
two?
do it in a cash account.
Yeah, great. Level 2 options is what you need?
2 or 3 depends on which one, what your broker calls it. It's credit spreads. You need to be able to do a credit spread.
Gotcha.
If you look up on your broker, it says credit spreads. That's what you need.
Level 2, level 1, or level 2. Now, basically, this is just an alert service. You're not, you're teaching them in the master class, and then they're getting the alerts. Is that right?
Yeah, I'll teach you kind of how the price pattern, what it's looking for, but I'm not going to give you any of the tools to go find it yourself because that's not really what I set up here. A lot of people just want to go fishing with me.
Yeah.
And like I said, I built this tool to just take us fishing. Tell us which bait, which hole, where to cast, and 9 out of 10 times we're going to reel it in.
There you go. I love it. Yeah. Let's see. I lost my other questions. You're going to cover assignment in the master class. We get a lot of questions about that, but that's not something you want to get into right now. That'd be better to go.
So I've done these trades for months now. I've got assigned one time, and that was on Friday on a big drop that was outsized.
Mm-hmm.
And just happened to be timing. I cashed out one from Thursday right before I got into the one on Friday. So it's kind of the way it worked.
Beautiful. Now, if I'm new to options, right? I've seen this has worked for a lot of your new people, but are you going to give me anything if I'm new to options? Or you going to give me a?
Yes. So in the members area, I got 2 special things for you. First, I have an options 101 boot camp where I walk through kind of how to place these trades at 4, 5, 6 brokers and how options work and kind of get you up to speed on what it is exactly. And then I have included the Versatile Trader Workshop. This is a class I sold last for, I think, $500. I decided to give that to all the members free, which is almost half of the class, half of the value here today. I'm going to give you that class. It's a 4-part series that walks you through doing spreads. And it's not just limited to credit spreads. I walk you through credit spreads, debit spreads, iron condors, and things like that, how to find them. And actually, I do teach you the price pattern inside that class right there. So
Awesome.
it's all included in the members area.
No, not every trade's going to work out. How big are the losses?
Whatever you risk. If you risk $1,000, it's $1,000 loss. I mean, that's max loss. Whatever your max risk is a max loss. If you give me 1 second, I'll pull over the alert from Friday and we could look at it. Now, I'm not trying to hide and say that it wasn't, didn't get me in a little bit of pickle jam here, but let me pull
No
this.
covered calls, Douglas is asking. No, there's no covered calls here.
And no cover calls. This is all. Let me pull this.
It's the
I'm
first
trying to
time
get.
somebody's been able to get this outside of your beta testers, correct?
Yeah, first time. And let's see right here. This is what one looks like. Right here. Said to sell. IWM was the ticker. Said to sell it right there. Buy that one. Get that credit. Close target. You get in. You get your credit. You go for 50% profit. You're going to risk 62 cents. If you want to do $1,000 risk, 16 contracts. If you want to do $100 risk, it's like one contract. 1.6.
One of the most beautiful things about this is that it's cashed out automatically. Are you going to show people in the masterclass how to set that trade up so they could get cashed out automatically?
You know what? That step-by-step process is already recorded and waiting in the members area. You don't even have to wait for the masterclass. It's already in the members area. How to place your first trade. Already in the members area. Right there. You can wait till the masterclass, but it's already in the members area.
The one says, Doug says, how many losses in your personal real trading?
Probably 3 after tomorrow, but 2 so far.
Right, nice. Now, again, everybody, if you want to get in on this, which I think you should, put your name and phone number in the chat. Click the link in the chat or give us a call. The phone number's there. And you're going to love this.
One of my favorite things. Can I do blank? This kind of universally fits. If it's outside of anything we've already discussed, can I do blank with a trade? You can do whatever it is you want to do with a trade. It's your own trade. At the time that you click the buttons and you get into it, you want to close early? Go for it. You want to take less profit? Go for it. You want to try to get more profit? Go for it. I've set up a system that has an 89.9% win rate on almost 300 trades so far this year. And it just works. I'm not sure why you want to get creative with it and do it different, but you do you.
We'll always ask that.
Anybody's welcome to do whatever they want to with a trade.
Do you ever use stops?
And the stop is the max risk.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was just a question that came up. All right.
You've got till 4:15 to close them out. Like even on expiration day, 4:15. That's the beauty of this thing. So you'll have, if they don't close out automatically, you got to take some action. I highly recommend you put an alert on your phone anytime you're in it to just double check, make sure it's closed.
Now you're going to explain to the people in the masterclass what consists of the alert, how it actually gets triggered and activated.
I can explain all that. Yeah, it's fairly straightforward and simple. It is based on the same thing that runs triple threat. Just I've customized an algorithm and a time frame that works a little better for these options to make them last for longer than a day.
Awesome. Yeah, this is an amazing tool you got. Trone wants to know if the entry can be automated.
I mean, the whole alert is automated. Like it's right there. Like that's it. Like it's automated. It doesn't require me to do anything.
Yeah, cool.
If you wanted to automate placing it at your broker, you could scrape Discord or Telegram and do that potentially. That's up to you. I'm not gonna get into the weeds on how to do that.
Yeah. I don't know about that other service, Doug. We're just talking about CashBot today, not the other one. Just old Bob wants to know how often, what percentage of the trades are overnight as opposed to day trades.
So 5% are day trades, and 95% are overnight.
Awesome. I love this thing. I want to get in. I can't wait till tomorrow. This
So
is things
so
that
the thing about the stop loss, let me go over this trade really quickly right here. I just did one right here from a couple days back. I'll just show it. Show exactly what happened. I'm just
I
gonna
personally
screenshot.
never use a stop loss on an options trade.
Jack, as a market maker, you would explain why that's a bad idea.
Yeah, you're going to get ticked off. A lot of times the difference, the spread between the bid and the ask is so wide that if you use a stop, they can just drop the bid, pick that off, raise the bid back up. You want to use a mental stop if you're going to use a stop, but you don't even have to do that. However much you put in on this one is how much that's the max you could lose. So Smart Esla says, I've never traded options before. Is this going to work for me?
It certainly can. I mean, it's probably, like I said, we're gonna take you fishing and show you how it works. So here's this trade right here. This fired off on the 8th at 3:20 in the afternoon. I actually got in it at 3:53 p.m. right there. It was, almost half an hour later, or just over half an hour later. I got filled right at, right in the ballpark. I recommend, roughly plus or minus 5 cents. This one low credit, higher risk, only a 10% return on risk. It rolled all the way to 3:59 the next day. 3:59.59, the last second the market was open, and closed out at the profit target.
Right. I love it. Now, Denise or Debbie asks, are these in the money or out of the money spreads?
Oh, we'll go through all that in the master class, how that works.
That's a better way to do it. Yeah. All right. I love it. I think we answered all these. Sandra, he's going to walk you through that assignment during the master
It's
class on
you
Tuesday.
it's pretty simple. You just sell the shares and close anything you've still got open.
Yeah. Yeah. No big deal. But you'll want to go into that a little more detail during the master class.
Yeah, I mean you just close everything. That's all you do. Just close everything. There's no
Hope
there's no flipping around into a big winner or anything like that. You just get out.
Hopium is in for life. We got a lot of lifetime guys. Um, and you mentioned how much time after the alert will go out. Will it still work? It all depends on what the
It
market's doing.
depends on the price. Like it's just on the price. If the price is different, 5 cents different than the alert, don't take it. And that's
You
5
look-
cents more, 5 cents less. Like on the IWM trade on Friday, if it went up 5 cents, which it did when the market started dropping, don't do the trade and you would have avoided the loss. Easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Israel Omar says, Jeffrey, thank you for building great tools and make available to everyone. And CashBot is one of them. It's incredibly fabulous. Well, there you have it. Israel Omar said it right there. Do you need an account big enough to cover getting assigned? Dana asks.
No, I've my account's not big enough to handle having 1,200 shares of IWM, so I'm going to be closing it out on Monday. We'll go through it all. Well, I'll show everything because I'm going to close it out tomorrow, and then during the master class, I'll just do a post-mortem on what happened.
Cool. Yeah, that's really great.
How much is lifetime? 26.50 all in. That's the lifetime cost.
The tools, I got to tell you folks too, the tools that a trader builds for himself first, and then they take it to the public, those are the best ones because the guy wouldn't build it just as a marketing gimmick. These are things we actually use here. All the audit on these trades is done by a third party. Some of this was back tested. Some of this is real trades, winners and losers together. You see the win rate right there, the whole time of less than 48 hours. Very simple to do. Yeah. Stanley's in. If you're in, put your name and say, I'm in. I want to see how many bright people we have here today that are going to take action on this thing. So if you're in, let me know you're in.
Here's the trade tracker as of Friday.
Yeah. Sinclair is in.
Here's
Ron's
the real live trade tracker as of Friday, right there, Jack.
Mike's in for lifetime. Richard Welsh is in. Wendy is in. Wow. Wendy, other Wendy's in. iPad is in. Mike Douglas is in. Rob Romero always in. Jumps in. Coger Stock is in. Placid Roberts is in. Jack is in. Steven's in. Wow. Jason's got the lifetime. Wow. Wow. Celeste is getting in for lifetime. I'm in. I'm in. This is, you guys, man, I love it to see when you invest in yourself, right? So you're going to get these things spoon fed to you, but he's going to educate you along the way, which is what really makes this thing powerful. Is, you know, most of these guys in this business, I'll just tell you, they don't trade with their own money on the line.
That's so true. I've learned that the hard lesson. I didn't really know that was a thing until I became a guru. I was like, what?
I know.
In fact, the CEO was telling me it might be easier for me if I don't trade with real money. I was like, what? I was like, I'll just go through the audits. You know, you do get audited if you trade with real money doing this, and you know, you got to submit all your records. But
it's a third party audit. It's not us making it up. Angus is in. James is in. No, one question came up. Are these naked options? Street Skater asks. They're credit spreads, right?
credit spreads, yeah. Look, you want to know Jeff's real trade? Like right here, it is. Like it's on the record right here. It's these ones that have been going since July. These are the ones I've been taking. When the losses show up, like I ate that loss. Like
Ron is in. Jim Sue's in. Lindsay's in.
like I ate this one last week, right there.
Stanley is in. Yeah, I love it. Mary Alice, Israel, Sandra D, you got to get in, man. Debbie, you got to get in. This is the time to take advantage.
Do I get every trade? No, I miss some of them. I miss a lot of them actually, because I'm busy doing shows like Market Masters and morning shows and afternoon shows, but I take them when I can.
Brent is in. Kate just got a lifetime deal. Yeah, Sinclair likes the numbers. I love the numbers. When I look at a strategy, I like to look at a win rate. I like to look at the results, the average win, average loss, when the combination of average winners and losers, and the whole time. So yeah, you're going to all get the same alerts, Doug C. This is awesome, dude. Any last questions before we wrap it up? I know a lot of people need to get onboarded this afternoon.
Everybody gets the same thing. It's, you know, no special thing for anybody. It's, you know, I'm not giving you platforms. I'm not giving you indicators. It's all written out, text alerts, simplified. I showed the screenshot there 1 second ago. Let's see if I still got it up. It's very simple.
Download.
Nothing to download, just really simple.
So all I need is Discord or Telegram to get the alert. I don't need to download the software. I just get the alert and you train me in the masterclass.
Right. And I've already got a video waiting for you in the members area, what to do with this alert.
Sweet.
I show you how to place the trade on one of my brokers right there, how to put the entry, how to put the exit. It takes me, the video, even with me talking it through it, is about a minute long. Yeah. That's it.
No, Debbie, there's no downloading of the software. You just buy it, you're getting the alerts.
You can run Telegram in a browser. You can run Discord in a browser. That's the only things you really need besides your own brokerage platform.
Yeah, Chasen asks, is this similar to what I have? No, this is not similar to what I have. This is why I'm buying it, because I don't have anything similar to this. I want to be able to get a trade, a short-term trade. As I said, I don't have any strategy in my arsenal that's going to be 48 hours or less. Not especially with this win rate. That's something you could take to the bank right there. This dog can hunt. And if you like making profits on a daily basis, you're going to love CashBot.
Now look at that. This is how many trades it's done since January 1st. 281.
Just spreads and just those three stocks.
Every one of these is a spread. You can see them right here. Tells you the entry date, the exit, and the option that was traded.
How do we set up Telegram if we want to get the trades through Telegram? Robert asks.
Details are in the members area. If you need help, you can call in customer support. They'll help you out. All the details, the link, you just click it right in the members area.
Now you have a really special way. I'm not going to really give it away, but you got a special way of locking in that 50%. Whereas you're not letting this thing go all the way to expire worthless.
Oh,
You're
that's the thing. We did calculations. I had a brilliant team. I I thought it should work different, and I gave it to the team to test it out for me, and they said, "Hey, if you do this, this, and this, your win rate is going to go up. The amount of money you make is going to go up." And I think this happened to you too, for one of your programs.
did.
And these people are super smart in the background to help us out. And like I said, when I was just me working for me, I didn't have all the resources that I have now to build these awesome things. So
Yeah.
a lot of work went into this by not just me, but a lot of people in the background. I've built what I think might be the best thing yet that I've
I
built.
think you did. I think you did. And we have some extremely bright, I've never seen people this smart working on the programming side. And it's amazing how they could take this trade, this software, this program that had a good win rate, and then tweak it just a little bit so it goes up to that 90% win rate.
It's wild.
I don't think you're using put spreads here.
It doesn't run on a brokerage platform. It runs in Discord and Telegram. That's where you get the text-based alerts that just tell you what options to trade. You go trade them wherever you want to.
Right. Uh, we got a question of put credit spreads or call credit spreads.
Always put credit spreads.
There you
The market's bullishly biased on those 3 index tickers. It's just look at the last 100 years. It goes up on
Beautiful.
average every single year. So we're not
Beautiful.
betting against the market.
Now I got to imagine with this many people on the call here, pushing 1,000, that there'd be some problems getting the order put through. So again, if you're having that problem, put your name and phone number in the chat. Our team is working today, and they're going to get you locked in on this crazy good deal. Deanna put the link in there if you want to hit it, and the phone number, have your credit card ready, 904-706-3537. Thank you, Deanna, for helping us out. It's been quite hectic here, but you did a great job moderating this webinar, Deanna. I want you to know. You got a trade tracker in there for people to stay up on it. Live trade room. Wow. A special class on placing your first cash bot trade. The elite training experience. The trade tracker.
Look, Jack, we show this off during our thing right here. I make money trading. All right. Scout's honor. I just want to help other people make money trading. I do things to make money in my own accounts. And I build tools to help other traders make money too. I build tools for me. I share them out. I just want to help you make some money.
Yeah.
All right. This is live verified trading profits in my own account right here, all time. You want to see just this year? Right there it is, $27,000 just this year.
Awesome.
Come join me. I'm just going to help you the best I can make some money.
I love that it's fully automated. Like I say, this dog can hunt. So if you like making money, you're going to love CashBot.
Here's what all you get. The software, I run the software. You don't even have to do anything. Just get the alerts. That's all you got to do. Just get the alerts. There's no browser. There's no trading platforms. It runs any trading place you want to, Robinhood, Webull, Thinkorswim, Tasty Trade, E-Trade, Interactive Brokers, Trader, Alpaca, Trade Zero, Cobra Trading. I don't know. We can name trading platforms all day. It'll run it out, all of them. All you got to do is be able to trade options on SPY, QQQ, and IWM. They're not even 0 days, so it works at Fidelity. I don't know what else to. I don't know any other questions, Jack.
If you have any others, we've covered it all. Now it's time to make your decision. It's time for you to take action. Invest in yourself. Get the money you deserve. Let this thing do it for you automatically. If you can, smart enough to pick up your phone and turn your head and look at the alert and place the trade, take you 2 minutes to do that, then you're done. He's going to show you how to automatically close it out. You'll have absolutely nothing to worry about. And if you do have a question, we got customer support live Monday through Saturday. They already know Jeffrey. They already know what's up. They're US-based customer service, and they're traders. They know what's going on. So we got you covered 17 different ways from Sunday. all that's left for you to do is commit to yourself. Get this cash bot, put it to work for you. If 14 days goes by, you don't like it, we'll give you a refund, no problem. But I don't see that happening. I think everybody's going to be so glad they got this. And for those of you who aren't, you're going to get the email telling you all the other people that have cashed in with CashBot. So you might as well just go get it now and let it work for you. You'll be glad you did.
Here's the daily webinar right there, prosperitypub.com/help, through the link in the chat. Save that link. If you need help tomorrow, go there, get help. You need help Tuesday, go there, get help. Next week, go there, get help. You can go every day if you want to. Go there, get help if you need it.
Goose brings up a good point. Goose says, for what it's worth, many people underestimate the power of many small wins, many small trades that can be scaled up. And this is powerful. Yeah, this is powerful. Now, Joe, you don't want to buy the stock instead of the options on this alert. You want to buy this option because the stock has to move too much. That's what he was telling me earlier.
The stock may not even move during our alert. That's what happened with the SPY one I was showing off there earlier. The stock, like SPY, didn't even move for 2 days. Yeah. And I still made money.
Buy the stock. You just want to do the option that the bot gives you and you'll be good to go. Like I say, this dog can hunt. It's already proven itself. All you got to prove it to yourself. Just get on board now. $1,100.55.
Okay, guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I have to cut the recording right there. There's not much left. There's like 5 minutes left or so, but I have to go. I got to go host Profit Panel at 2:30, and that starts in 15 minutes. So I just need some time to get that Zoom room open and get started with that. And unfortunately, Zoom has not figured out how to allow you to have two separate Zoom accounts and two separate Zoom meetings going at once. So we're kind of stuck in this situation. I have like 1 or 2 minutes that I could answer a few more questions. But then other than that, I would definitely direct any of your questions to our customer service team. They are fantastic. The number that you can reach them at is that 904-706-3537. But if you don't feel like calling, that's okay. You can email us at support@thetradingpub.com. And that's just kind of our catch-all. If you send an email to that, and it's about any related service, any question related to just about anything, that email will get you there. So, obviously different traders have different, like Jeffrey doesn't have an email that he gives out to people. Excuse me, but Jack does. Excuse me. But that's that. Todd, you said you were going to call in, so that's fantastic. I always recommend that. That's usually my go-to if we're having any type of issues. Just give us a call. We have entire teams that are built, to do that. So definitely not a problem. So, all right. All right. Looks like we don't have any other questions. So I'm going to let everybody get going. Unfortunately, I do have to end the room right now to go start another webinar. So make sure you just save that link, save that phone number, save that email, and you guys will be all set. So we'll see you guys here pretty soon. If you're not doing anything, maybe you want to come hang out with us and come to the profit panel. More than welcome to do that. This is the link for that. Jack Carter is actually going to be on there, and he's going to be doing his brand new upside down options. So not a bad idea to hop in there and come hang out with us and have a good time. So we'll see you guys on the next one on the profit panel. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.